conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the up.
You're listening to Believe You Me with Michael the Count Bisping and Paul Felder.
We're lined up. We're all in. Paul Felder's here. I'm here. We've got a great night of fights to discuss. We have two guests joining today, Tommy Gunn McMillen. I'm getting a ton of shit online because I said, I think we have a new superstar in the making. We've also got Steve Garcia, the White House opener. He'll be joining. We've also got Jiří Procházka versus Carlos Ulberg. We have got a lot of stuff to talk about. Paul Felder, back home in Philadelphia. How are you today, sir?
I'm good, man. The sun is shining.
Oh.
I got 9.5 hours of sleep because I got on the red eye leaving Vegas. So you know how it is. That's only like a 4-ish hour flight. By the time you settle down and try to go to sleep, I got like 3 hours of plain sleep, which is better than nothing. Ended up just pushing through that day. Slept like a rock at night. It's not too warm here yet, but it's not raining. It's sunny.
Yeah.
It's good. Things are good.
Because you're in your neck of the woods, when it gets hot, it gets really muggy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gets really humid. Yeah.
Because I heard Joe Rogan, because I drove to Vegas at the weekend and I drove back Saturday night right after the fights. I was exhausted. But
How was that drive?
It was all right. There was a couple of times where I was driving where I was like, oh, I felt like a little, like, I did slap myself in the face a couple of times, just one of them, and open up the window. And when I was overtaking, it's weird when I overtake, because like, you know, you're right there with the car. Yeah. I go faster to get past it quicker. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I don't like the overtaking part late at night. So I go faster, which is technically more dangerous, but it minimizes the time of the potential clash. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I always speed up when I'm passing somebody.
No, I heard Rogan. He was talking about the White House and how, because I was listening to Rogan on the podcast on the way home, and he was talking about how the White House, because it's going to be June in
DC,
Washington, DC, of course, how it's going to be so hot and it's like 100 degrees and crazy humidity. You know,
it could be bad. Yeah. It could be really bad.
Yeah. Anyway, should we get into some of these fight stuff at the weekend? Yeah. How was your Sunday?
It was good. It was chill. I didn't do much. Went and saw my mom with my older daughter because it was the rest of the house is sick. I thought I was getting really sick. I think it was mainly just from the plane ride and not sleeping. I'm a little congested, but dude, by the way, I don't know if it's good for you, but
okay.
Mucinex makes a nasal spray. And you're only supposed to take it at maximum twice a day. It clears you up like nobody's business ever.
You ain't going to tell me. I've been there, done it. I've got the T-shirt. I've been addicted. I've been addicted.
It works so well.
Bro, so Saturday night, I get in, I go to bed. I can't sleep because my nose is all blocked, right? And because I've been down this rabbit hole and this whole journey, Rebecca's got me a nasal spray that's not addictive and non-habit forming, but it doesn't work. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I'm laid in bed and it's now 3:00 in the morning and I still can't sleep because I'm breathing through my mouth. I'm being a mouth breather. And I think, I've got some of the good stuff in my little backpack that I take for commentary. I go down, it's empty. It's completely empty. But I pumped it about 100 times and I just got a few fumes. I got a little bit of fumes and I was like, it's good, man. But that shit'll get you. Before you know it, you're pumping that spray.
I knew it. I knew it as soon as I took it, I was like, like it burned a little bit. But then I'm telling you, 10 seconds later, I was like, I told Christine, I was like, holy shit. I was like, this can't be good because and then the whole night it's just now, this is from last night at like 7:00. I took it just now at 3:15 in the afternoon the next day. I'm feeling just a little bit congested again.
So like I always like do too much of everything. And I remember when Rebecca first brought this spray into my life, I was like, I was spraying it like crazy. And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, my nose is blocked. She's like, Michael, I said, what harm is it going to do? And it was Lucas actually that came in and said, Dad, that's addictive. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he showed me like a little TikTok that he'd seen
Yeah.
And it's true. It is addictive. So be careful with that.
I can see why, because holy crap. It was an immediate relief. Anyway, this isn't a show plugging Mucinex, but
no, it's not. But still, if you got a blocked nose, go for it.
If you need it, and especially like you said, working on TV or like if you're super congested and we're about to go do a show, it's works.
Anyway, let's just go to a quick ad. This is sponsored by Mucinex.
Yeah.
And if you want to breathe properly and smell your wife.
Hey man, we might make some if Mucinex decides to sponsor us. I think that's a good payday.
And just delete this episode where we said it's bad for you, and it's right, fights. We had some good ones at the Apex, of course. Yeah. As always, a lot of people talking shit. This is the worst card of all time. I mentioned this on a little YouTube video that I did when I drove home before I went to bed, because that's the kind of work ethic that I have, Paul. I saw it's crazy. You want to build a life. I saw these guys from MMA Fighting talking about how this is the worst card of all time and kind of sniggering and laughing at it and making fun of it. And I said in the video, I said, I get it. You want to be anti-establishment and talk shit about the UFC and blah, blah, blah. But you're insulting these guys and girls and these people that are working their asses off. You know what I mean? And some of them weren't the biggest names, but there were some great fights. There was 4 finishes on the main card, 4 finishes on the prelims, some shocking stuff. I mean, Dione Barboza versus Melissa Gatto. I mean, that head kick.
I know people are talking trash on that too. Like, oh, she was faking. Oh, she didn't get hit. I'm like, even if it was mostly her neck, that's still a shot. I don't want to take a kick straight to the neck.
Dude, they replayed it and they said in our ear, let's just listen to the sound.
Yeah.
And the sound, when it connected, it was like, and it echoed around, not the arena, the Apex. It echoed. It was loud. You know what I mean? So I don't think that fight should have continued. What do you reckon?
Credit to her. And that's where that's where I'm like, okay, maybe there was a degree of her trying to embellish it a touch just because it was so bad and she probably knew she can get away with getting the fight canceled, but that had to have hurt. And I think it was pretty damn egregious. And I know that she was trying to wait for her leg to come up and people are like, oh, her knee wasn't all the way down. I'm like, that was about as close to your knee being all the way down. There might've been that much space between their actual kneecap, but the shin was still on the,
the shin is a flat surface and then it curves to the knee. Do you know what I mean? So maybe the start of the curve was off, but that was a downed opponent, man.
Yeah,
and that was a pride, old school style, Vanderlei Silva, Maurizio, who, boom,
just
soccer kick.
Yeah.
Now a football kick, we'll call it in the UK, but it was. So fair play to Gatto. She looked out to me. I don't know. The referee could see better than us. He was looking down at her. We didn't have that view, but I don't think that should have carried on. But still, regardless, it did.
Credit to her for
what else on the prelims real quick? Tresean Gore.
Yeah, that was a huge upset.
Fair play to that guy. I mean, I talked about this because Tresean Gore, I remember when he fought Antonio Tricoli and he won by a guillotine and he went into like a grappling exchange. And I said, I'm not sure that's the best idea because Tricoli is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt and he taps him out with a guillotine, right? And then at the post-fight presser, some little like shit-stirring media member was like, Michael Bisping said that wasn't a good idea. Technically, it's not. It's not, right? He's got knockout power. That guy's a BJJ black belt. You're new to the sport of mixed martial arts, right? But she delivered it in such a way that made it sound like he was talking shit, And he got like, all up in his feelings and shot me a DM. I'm like, bro, you choked him out. You put him to sleep. And last time he had Rodolfo Vieira and he lost the fight. But, bro, this guy's learning on the job. Do you know how hard it is to beat someone like Rodolfo Vieira, right? Absolutely gigantic, multiple-time world jiu-jitsu champion, pretty good on the feet, and he looked all right. And then he got the win on Saturday night. He's one of those guys that's a little annoyed at everyone talking shit because everyone talks shit. You just got to ignore all of that, man, and just focus on what you're doing.
Yeah, you do. And he's still only 6-4. Like he's still so young in his career, not even just in his UFC career. I mean, I think he was only 3 or 4 fights into his entire career when he came off the Ultimate Fighter and ended up getting into the UFC. So again, like you talked about, learning on the job, and he looked really good, and he beat a legit guy who's 20-5. I mean, you talk about a ton of experience, more UFC experience, I think, or maybe close to it at least. And he also was coming off a pretty long layoff, I think.
I believe so. I got Tommy Gunn McMillen. Just I see the bubble dots. The bubble dots are coming, right? You know what I'm saying? When they're going to chat. Do you ever have that when someone's texting and it's like the bubbles go for the longest time?
Yeah.
And then you get an emoji. And at the other end, they've typed something.
Delete it.
It's mainly it's with my wife. You know what I mean? Or someone, they're like, go fuck yourself. Delete. Put this. Anyway, I'm going to send you his email, Brian. Renato Moicano, Chris Duncan. Let's go to the main event. Tough night for Chris Duncan, man.
Really tough night.
He did not get going.
He got worked.
At all.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got worked the entire fight, including the stand-up, which is where I think Chris Duncan thought he was going to have an advantage, or at least a power advantage, but it didn't matter at all because he's pretty sharp on the feet, man. He doesn't waste a lot of energy. He doesn't do unnecessary things. He really established that jab. And you know what else? He did a really good job checking those low kicks, and multiple times Chris Duncan just ate nothing but shin when he threw a kick at Moicano. And he just snapped that hook on him, man, beat him up. And then once he got to the ground, I think just in his head, Chris, knowing that he had already in training probably gotten worked pretty good by Moicano, I think he tried stuff that he probably shouldn't have been worried about, like throwing those back punches, trying to throw elbows behind himself. And that was right when he got caught in that rear naked choke officially. And he was only in that for what, maybe a second or two, and he was tapping. Now, I've never fought Moicano. I've never trained with him, but I imagine based on the looks of that, the dude has to have a pretty serious squeeze with that choke.
High level BJJ black belt. That guy's squeezing like crazy. And for Duncan, though, it's like when I got submitted off George St. Pierre, I got dropped with a left hook first. Yeah. He got dropped with a left hook. 1, 2, left hook, clean work from Moicano, sits him down. And that's when you get the submissions. Because the person's brain is scrambled. They've just been dropped. They don't know what's going on. They're making mistakes. They're trying to piece it all together. And you got Moicano, who wants money, who's choking you out. You know what I'm saying?
He wants easy fights in the ranked department of the division. I love that on the post-fight speech. I want easy ranked opponents. I'm like, I don't know who that is, but
he called out Paddy.
Yeah.
He called out Benoit Saint-Denis.
Again, he said, I'll take that rematch. That's easy work.
Who was the other one?
Dan Hooker. And then, but he also clarified on the post show at the desk, he said the number one scalp for him is Brian Ortega. He said they were matched up. It was supposed to happen. Then he bailed. He also said Ortega was his first loss, so he really wants to get that one back.
I like that. I like that fight. My concern for him with that is the fight going to happen?
Yeah.
Ortega just doesn't seem to be able to stay healthy and get through training camps. And that would worry me. I'd want a guy that might be even slightly harder, but I know that I'm fighting that guy when I get to that.
Stylistically, what a great matchup. 2 great jiu-jitsu guys. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think we're being for a treat on the ground. I'm happy for Moicano, man. He had a chip on his shoulder. He was saying F the fans and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And I get it as well, because I talked about this. 1 minute you're on a 4-fight win streak. You're beating Benoit Saint-Denis. You're smoking Jalen Turner. You're delivering bombs on the microphone and all the rest of it. Then you get finished by Islam real quick. You lose to Beneil Dariush. You take almost a year off. The people online come for you. The people that lost money when they bet on you start talking shit.
That's the worst.
And they're just ridiculing you. And I mean, God's sake, I mean, even just me for the commentary, the amount of abuse that I get. I'm sure Moicano, if you lose a fight or any fighter that loses, there's tons of people.
You're a bum. You suck.
You're never good.
God,
You've had your whole career pampered. You've been given tailor-made opponents, you know.
Yeah, because Benoit Saint-Denis is, you know, an easy fight, man. Come on now.
Easy fight. That's why he's calling for him again. Because Benoit Saint-Denis sucks. Yeah. Sarcasm before you clip it, guys.
Don't think he sucks, but I do like that Moicano is not afraid to just get on that microphone and say some random ass shit. He talked about Brazilian politics. He talked about the fans. Talked about the division. He talked about how this
Duncan
fight
as well.
What's that?
He talked about Chris Duncan as well.
Yeah, I know.
Which caught me a little off guard. The teammates, the fight's over. Chris Duncan was on a 4-fight winning streak, and you were on a 2-fight losing streak. That's what happens. They're the type of matchups that we see. He proved on that night, especially, that he was by far the better fighter.
Yeah, that it was too much. It was too much for Chris. And I feel for Chris, too, because that was kind of his shot, right? He's not super young. I mean, he's still got plenty of time in the game. But as far as getting towards the top guys, the top 5, top 10 again, it's going to be a little bit of a journey for him. And the good thing, though, I will say this for Chris, is that he always brings it. You know that when you send that guy a contract, he's going to show up, he's going to make weight, and he's going to bring the action, whether he's losing or he's winning. We know that every time that we see him. Even in this fight, he lost, but he went for it, and he got beat up. In the other fights, it's back and forth. Rumbetsky fight, absolute carnage. You know, even when he was on the Contender Series, he's getting dropped, comes back, knocks the guy out. Terrence McKinney, absolute carnage, ends up finishing the fight. So I feel like he's always going to have a good place in the UFC, even if he's not in the top 10. I know Chris, and I know that's not what he wants. He really wants to be somebody, the way he works, his work ethic. He wants to be a champ.
Yep.
I just don't know if that's going to happen.
It's that first main event as well. First main event, it's Moicano. He's had your number in training. There's a lot of stuff going on between the ears. You're like overthinking everything. Also, this is a massive platform for him. You know, Duncan versus Moicano. It's on all the posters. It's on all the advertisements online and all the rest of it. You know, and you know, I don't think it was just the moment. Moicano was the better man.
I think it's clear that.
But Duncan's going to stay positive. You know, you tried to step up, you came short. It doesn't matter. Loads of fighters have been there. All right, if you're a dog lover, listen up, because Better Wild are here to help you and help your dog. I've got 2 dogs. Harry, we love him, but his breath absolutely stinks. Ford, he's great. He's always scratching away like crazy because, well, dogs always have a lot of allergies and they like to have treats as well. They're always begging for something. So now I can give him a treat whilst fixing their problems. I can give him a chew for Harry whilst it fixes his bad breath, because Better Wild has all kinds of supplements, all kinds of treats, and they're all designed to help something. I use Better Wild Allergy Relief Soft Chews, a supplement designed to support your pet allergies defense system by strengthening their digestion. They're actually the first and only chews with ancestral advantage wolf probiotics derived from your dog's mighty ancestor, the wolf, that help restore a healthy balance of good bacteria in the gut. Better Wild Allergy Supplement Chews include 4 key ingredients: a premium blend of wolf probiotics called the Ancestral Advantage, which is derived from kimchi that's been clinically proven to reduce itchiness and redness in just 2 months with daily use, colostrum to boost immune function and fight inflammation, salmon oil to support healthy skin and fur. And by the way, another thing is it'll stop begging all the time, wanting your food. You just give them one of the Better Wild treats because they love them. Harry and Ford absolutely love them, and I'm sure your dog will too. Better Wild is committed to helping your dogs with science-backed
veterinarian-approved solutions that turn out you can feel great about them. The dog are going to love them, and it's going to fix a variety of problems. And Harry's breath is already getting better. And right now, Better Wild is offering the listeners up to 40% off your order at betterwild.com/believe. That's betterwild.com/believe for 40% off your order. Betterwild.com/believe. Give your dog a treat, make it healthy, help them out, fix the breath, stop the scratching. Betterwild.com/believe, 40% off your order. Like Lando Vannata, man. Lando Vannata.
Did you see what I sent you guys about what happened to him? He didn't break his ribs.
Okay.
It was a liver. It was his liver that was really hurting him. He said there's been 2 of the worst liver shots in his life. He had a clip from sparring where he got spinning back kicked and was down forever. And then he said, and then this one, where when he got slammed, that left shoulder went straight into his liver. He said, I never in a fight felt a liver shot like that. He said, but round 2 came out. He's like, I was actually feeling okay. And then when he hit him with that trip, they smashed heads when they were going down, and it got him right here. And he showed the lump that he's got on the back of his head. He said he tried to argue, and not badly, but he tried to tell Herb, hey, I got hit in the head. They reviewed it and they said, nah, it's just it's in the motion.
Oh, we get it. You're friends with him.
No.
No.
Not what I'm saying.
No.
Not what I'm saying.
You're friends with him. You're making excuses. It's not your fault. It's Dustin Poirier's fault. Okay. He's been listening to Dustin Poirier. He followed the advice. Brian rolled the tape because he came out. He said it himself. He was very honest, and he's not happy with Dustin Poirier.
I'm never taking advice from Dustin Poirier again.
Dude, don't be silly. Jump to Gilly.
Slam was great. Beautiful job. It did not mess up my rib. My ribs are fine. But it did give me the second worst liver shot I ever had in my life. Here's the first. I was damn near ready to quit, man. That shit hurt so bad, I thought something ruptured inside me. Got my head back in the game. Went back out second round. Barely even thought about it. There's a wrestling interaction that happened. Darrius hit me with a beautiful Sotogari. And all credit to him. But listen to what happens.
I saw outside trip and again.
We smashed heads so hard. Left me with this nice big contusion. That clash rocked the shit out of me. I covered up. I got finished. Immediately, I told Herb, I said, hey, it was an accidental headbutt. We collided heads on the takedown. He's a good ref. He went and had it reviewed right away. And the officials still decided to rule it as a TKO. C'est la vie.
See? Dustin Poirier's fault.
It's most times when guys lose fights, I feel like it is Dustin Poirier's fault. Let's be honest.
Never jump the guillotine. That would be my advice. But yeah, poor guy. I love Lando, man. He's awesome. Yeah. He's awesome. And he was looking so good in that fight as well. He was, you know.
And I got to say, too, though, that I'm upset at Flowers that he had to go in there and had missed weight and that he had this moment and he probably couldn't get any bonuses or anything like that. But I got to say, I am happy for that guy. I feel the genuineness and the happiness and talking to you on the mic and being able to celebrate a victory after everything he's been through, all the stuff that he talked to us about in the fighter meetings and having issues with his management. We won't get too into the details of that. And he didn't mention who it was or anything like that, but he's under new management. He got a new fight. He ended up going out there and getting a win. And you could tell that guy was genuinely happy, man.
Well,
and
he did my job.
I couldn't help but feel it.
I asked him one question and he went on like a 10-minute rant. You know,
because he's never, you know, he hasn't had the chance to be there before.
Yeah,
that first time that you get to say something on the mic after you get a finish like that, you could tell it was a big moment for him, and he made a bit of a fan out of me.
We got to talk about a couple more things before we move on, because obviously we've got UFC 327 this weekend, and we've got two guests joining as well. Ethan Ewing, excuse me. This kid, I think he should have got a bonus, but we don't make those decisions, right? But that was a bonus-worthy performance regardless. Went up against a 14-0 guy. 14-0, right? That tells you everything. And he's been in the UFC a few years. Man, he hardly took a shot. He was so slick. He looked like a boxer. The footwork was beautiful, slipping shots, boom, 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 rips to the body, right? Ben Jones, his coach from the Den Training Center in Yorba Linda. If you're in the area, go sign up there. I said to him, because he was shouting out, he was like coaching him the whole time through it. And I'm like, and he was going, Baker, meaning body shot.
Yeah.
And then when I walked in, I went, oh, yeah, you called for the body shot. He goes, hey, don't be talking to people about my codes.
It's like, dude, it's all over the broadcast, man.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
The bread basket normally means hit them in the stomach.
Yeah.
And you call it Baker.
You're going to have to come up with another code.
And he's like, oh, you only know that because Callum trains there. I'm like, no, bro. It's not exactly the toughest code to crack.
Yeah. It's not our first day. We've heard bread basket. We figure bakery. You're going downstairs with that
bread basket. Regardless, Ethan Ewing got it done again. Awesome performance, man. He's going to go far, that kid. I'm telling you.
He's the hottest prospect in the UFC right now, I think. I really do. And he has not beat nobodies. He's beaten 2 undefeated fighters easily. And this time he got to style on his opponent. I mean, the boxing was unfucking real to see that.
Which is crazy. Because like, he didn't grow up boxing, but it
looks like he did.
He grew up wrestling. From what I understand, he grew up Mormon as well. I don't know what that's got to do with anything. It's just background info that Callum's told me. He's a quiet guy. Yeah, he's not a guy that talks shit and all the rest of it. He's confident in his abilities. But holy shit, he looks so good. So good. And I agree.
He's good, dude.
At catch weight. It was a catch weight. I'm reading the card. At bantamweight, for sure, the hottest prospect.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Featherweight, hottest prospect, Kevin Vachejos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's
kind of moved into that territory now.
He's a contender now. Now I don't even think we can call him that, right? He was until he fought Josh Emmett, and he is. And now I think that's what's next for Ewing. If he wants it, he can slow play himself. It's up to him and his management and what the UFC wants from him. But skill-wise, confidence-wise, charisma, he's ready for somebody in the top 15 the way he looked on Saturday night.
Oh, I just clicked on the notes here and I just saw it. Elise Pereira, right? Yeah. Again, newcomer. I wasn't sold on her in the first fight in the UFC. All she did was back up for 15 minutes and lost. I wasn't sold. I'd seen her performances, but that knockout over Hailey Cowan. Hailey Cowan is a nice girl. She got sparked out and it was bad. And it was not going well before that either. But that knee that she landed, holy smokes, man, that was bad. Yeah.
That was a highlight reel for a long time to come. That'll be one of those things that as they start to edit those openings of the main card, when you see that one's going to be on there someday, especially if this girl continues to rise and becomes a ranked opponent someday and is fighting bigger fights. That will be one that we're going to see for a long time.
If she goes there, because right now
I'm not, because there was moments that Cowan started to get back into that fight and started to have her moments. So I still think, I mean, again, 20 years old. This is somebody like Ewing. I say you can fast track him if you really feel like you want to.
Fast track the shit out of him, I say.
But Pereira, I think keep
slow roll.
It's too so young. Same with like what they did with Rosas Jr. Like slowly give them fights, let them build confidence, let them get reps.
It's crazy, man. She made her UFC debut at 19 years old. Raul, 17 on the Contender, which I didn't even know if that was legal.
Yeah, they had to get like special permission and paperwork and all kinds of stuff.
And he's still only 20 or 21. I think he's 20.
He's 21.
21. Yep. He's a baby. I spoke to him recently and I said, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. You're a child.
Yeah.
But when you're 21, you think you've got everything figured out. Yeah, I know what's going on in the world. You're a kid, man. You're a kid. You don't know anything about the world. And this guy's had like 7-8 fights in the UFC. What?
I said he's still a chewie-wee.
He's a chewie-wee. All right. Okay. Good night fights. Some great finishes. Moicano's back. Ewing's a contender. Tommy Gunn, we'll talk about him in a little bit. Just quickly, before he jumps on, because we don't want to say this then, because you got all these dickheads online. Oh, because I said, we've got a superstar in the making.
Yeah.
You'll know this, Paul. When we spoke to him, there was a real maturity to him and like how he was going through this process. And then when he walked out in the Apex, the energy went up dramatically. Now, granted, he's probably sold a lot of tickets to friends and families, you know. But even still, when he walked out, he got like one of the loudest pops of the night. And then on the microphone, he killed it. And that's what I was talking about. Listen, the fight was reminiscent of Stephan Bonner and Forrest Griffin on The Ultimate Fighter, right? Yeah. It was, you know, it was a little sloppy at times, but holy shit, it was entertaining. And isn't that what all you people want that talk shit about the grapplers?
I know. You can't win. I think that's what we realize when it comes to the shit talk online. A guy goes out there and just throws down the entire time, and people still complain that he doesn't have it. He's not skilled enough. He's not a star.
He's dog shit, man.
But if he had gone out there and if he had wrestled, which he's capable of doing, by the way. I mean, the guy was a stud wrestler through high school, and I think maybe a little bit in college. I don't know if he went to college.
Two-time state champion, and then also in his senior year went something like 56-0.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't care what level your competition's at.
Yeah, to go undefeated like that
in a whole season. That's unreal. And he doesn't even use it. And it was sloppy. And he took some shots. And he's not ready for people like Kevin Vachejos and whatnot. It's his first fight in the UFC. And the man's got some star power to him. And he's got wrestling ability. And, you know, he garners a lot of attention. So I'm interested to talk to him later. All right, today's episode is sponsored by Shopify. Now, starting something new isn't just hard, it's terrifying. So much work goes into that thing that you're not entirely sure will work out, and it can be hard to make that leap of faith. Trust me, when I started this podcast, I didn't know what I was doing. What if no one listens? What if I make a fool out of myself, which I routinely do, by the way? What if no one buys my products? Well, now I know that I was believing in myself and launching my podcast. Despite all the fears and hesitations, you guys, for the most part, tune in every single week. And right now, if you're launching a business or something that you want to do online, you want to make money, Shopify is here to help. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world and 10% of all e-commerce in the United States, from household names to brands just getting started. Get started with your own design studio. With hundreds of ready-to-use templates, Shopify helps you build a beautiful online store that matches your brand style. Accelerate your efficiency. Whether you're uploading new products or trying to improve existing ones, Shopify is packed with helpful AI tools that write product descriptions, page headlines, and even enhance your product photography. I mean, what more do you want? Best yet, Shopify is your e-commerce expert with world-class expertise in everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. They literally do it all for you. And right now you can sign up for $1 per month for a trial period at shopify.com/BYM. Go to shopify.com/BYM. That's shopify.com/BYM. $1 per month trial period. Should we move on?
Sure.
Harrington, jump on. Let's say hi. And
real quick,
Brian,
you said 130 for Tommy? 130 PST?
No. Oh, yeah. Tommy. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just making sure I sent him the right thing, and he wasn't supposed to be on in a minute.
Oh, good. As you people probably saw, I was texting with him whilst Paul was talking. I wasn't being disrespectful. I wasn't looking at Twitter. You know, yesterday we went out and walked the dogs down on the dog beach. It's been our new ritual. It's great, man. You go down the dog beach. There's dogs running everywhere. Ford, because he's very unemotional. Because he's a rescue. No, he is. He just doesn't show any enjoyment out of anything in life. He never gets excited. You know, but down at the dog beach, he doesn't know what to do. But he sees dogs running, so he runs with them. They're chasing the ball, but he's running after them. He's like, is this what we're doing? We're running. We're running.
I'm just following you guys.
And Callum's with us because we're going to Mexico tomorrow. Me and Rebecca. She's been home alone all year as I've been on the road every week. And so I said to Callum and Lucas, I said, come down the dog beach with us. Get out the house. Get some sun. Let's go for a walk. We'll grab lunch while we're out. And they did not want to do that. But when we were there, it was all smiles. We had a great time. But Callum's on his phone. I'm like, what are you doing? Just for a second, he was on his phone. He's like, just a quick 10-second scroll, Dad. Got to get that dopamine hit. I'm like, bro, put the phone away. And speaking of phones, as I said, we're going to Mexico. And we've dug out our old camera, like real camera.
Yeah.
Because when I get there, I'm turning this off.
There you go.
I'm turning this off and I'm leaving it. And so I was leaving it in the hotel room, right? And when we go out and about, we're living in the moment. We're not going to look at our phones. And if we want to take pictures, guess what?
Got a
camera.
Like it used to be.
Like it used to be. We're bringing back the 90s, Paul.
I just remember going and getting a roll of film developed, and you had no idea how good or bad the shots were going to be. And some of them were like, what was I doing? Your fingers like over the thing, or everyone's blurred, or there's red eye on everything. It was fun because it was exciting to not know what it was going to be like.
And there's some shitty pictures. There's some wild pictures as well. You're a little drunk. Someone snaps the picture and you're like, whoa, throw that one away. That's not seeing the light of day. Anyway, let's talk about UFC 327. Sadly, no more Tatsuro Taira taking on Joshua Van. Joshua Van injured, I believe.
That's what I'm hearing, that it was on his side. It can't be anything too serious, though, if they're going to run it in May.
Yeah, I get it. He just became champ. It's his first defense, right? You want to go into a fight 100%. And he said, hold on a minute. This is, I don't know what it is. I saw him and Daniel Pineda at the Red Rock in Vegas. We had a quick chat, quick hello. They never mentioned anything. I didn't know it then. I found out during the broadcast.
On the broadcast,
maybe you roll your ankle or whatever it is, but you can't train properly for 2 or 3 weeks. So it's smart, in my opinion. You call them up and say, look, listen, I've got a little injury. It's going to sideline me for a bit. Take me off this one. Put me on the next one. I'll be good to go. Can't blame him because Tatsuro Taira, he's not an easy fight, man.
No, you want to be 100% when you're defending your belt for the first time. And of course, I saw the fans coming at him. Oh, just get rid of him. It's just
really
Pantoja. Yeah. Like, oh, he didn't really win the belt anyway. And all this kind of stuff. It's like, God damn, man.
What is it with these new fans, man? These new fans. In the words of Moicano, they can go fuck themselves because they're not real fans of the sport. There's some great people that I've met, and I'm very lucky that people have supported my career. But there's also, and it's a small minority of toxic little shits, and that's what I meant when I said that on the broadcast. Toxic little thingy bobs. I should have just swore, man. And then apparently, because it's Paramount TV, I would have been fine.
Yeah, I mean, Moicano took full advantage of that.
Yeah, but he's a fighter,
right? If we do that, we're definitely getting a call from Zach the next day.
I'm pretty sure I
no doubt about it.
Yeah, man, I agree. Fuck him. I'm pretty sure that's not going to fly.
No. No, they want us to have a sense of professionalism out there. Fighters, go ahead. Run your mouth. You're the athletes in there. You're the star of the show. For us,
have you ever sworn on a broadcast by accident?
I did, actually, and it went unnoticed. If you, I think it was years ago, and I think we were on like ABC or whatever. What were we on a while back that we? Yeah, when ABC every now and then, right? Yeah. They had the yellow jacket thing one night, and I forget his name off the top of my head. He was from Texas, and he sounded like Boomhauer from King of the Hill. You know, man.
Oh yeah.
And I was doing an impression, and then I was like, "Oh, fucking hilarious!" And I said. Oh, it's fucking hilarious. But I said it real quick, kind of like Boomhauer. And it went, nobody on the broadcast really noticed it, but producers did.
Oh.
And they got in my ear and they're like, did you just say fucking? And I was like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Yeah. I was like, no, I didn't. They're like, I don't think anybody noticed, but we definitely heard that. So just be careful. I was like, oh my God.
Well, my problem is that because I've never sworn, and because people think it's hard. It's not hard. We're not morons. We can go 7 hours of live TV most of the time without swearing. But I've fallen into a couple of traps with the cultural differences. Like, apparently, you guys don't like saying hell. So what the hell? Like, I've been told off for saying that. It's like, oh, you can't say that on air. I'm like, what do you mean? That's not a problem in the UK. And there's a couple of other words as well, like spazzy. Like, people say spazzy here, and that's fine. In the UK, that's like, it's an offensive term to obviously disabled people. Yeah.
Oh. I've said some things like that where I like don't curse, but I kind of allude to it without saying it. And I've had Ricci or Lappy or Zach. Or
I don't know if I
like,
can say, sometimes I want to say, I was talking about Saturday night, when you defend the arm bar, if you just pull your arm out without your other knee right up in the crack of the ass.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of butt behind.
Yeah. How do I say this without saying it?
Can I just say ass? It sounds so much cooler. Stick your knee in her ass.
Right in their ass.
Crack of the ass and just pull it out. Might sound a bit weird. Anyway, speaking of weird, Jiří Procházka is back. And he's weird in all the right ways.
And you know what? Remember when I said he's probably somewhere with a samurai sword? He was actually somewhere with a samurai sword doing some live stream with some streamers or doing whatever he was doing. He had a sword. So when I was like, oh, yeah, we were talking about Jiří, I was like, Yuri's probably somewhere right now. He's probably got a samurai sword. He did.
He never leaves home without it. Other than your phone, Paul, what's something you never leave home without?
Well, I always have these, my dad's ashes on my neck. That's something I don't leave home without. Here he is. Really? He's got a fucking samurai sword.
It looks like he's sitting in a hospital.
He's just having a conversation.
I can't do a Jiří. I go for that. He's crazy. He's crazy, man. I love it. What?
He's on Aiden Ross's stream. That means he got to Miami early. He's acclimating to the East Coast. That's some nice intel.
Yeah. But he better be in a rush to get out of there because remember, his lady is very, very pregnant.
Any day now.
Harrington, just look up the odds for us on this fight. I assume Jiří's the favorite, and I assume Carlos Ulberg is the underdog. But I'm a fan of Jiří. I'm a fan of Carlos, right? Carlos Ulberg's a really nice guy. You can't not like him. And certainly 9-fight win streak. He's stopping people as well. He's got a really good style. He's a sniper. He's tall. He's long. He's very, very technical. Like classically trained kind of style. Jiří's wild. He's unorthodox. He leaves a lot of openings. Seems like we've talked about it. We're having fun, but like it's like a button mashing style on Street Fighter. You don't know what you're doing, and he's jumping in the air, thinks about throwing it and does it, and then it's a spinning back elbow or whatever. But it's awesome, right? Yeah. But he will potentially get caught with a lot of shots from Carlos Ulberg. So this is a really tricky fight for Jiří.
Yeah, of course it is. Ulberg's patient. He's very technical, and he hits like a truck. He's not going to rush into things. He's going to let Jiří come to him. So I think there's a moment in this fight where it could start a little slow depending on how aggressive either guy wants to be. But Jiří he's durable. And, obviously when he gets hit by Pereira can put anybody in the world out, right? He gave him a lot of trouble, hasn't been able to get past him, but we've seen him take shots from these guys. I mean, Khalil Roundtree hits like a truck too, and he ate all his shots, and then it ultimately just eventually broke him in whatever round it was. I can't remember. It was the third or fourth. What round?
Third, I think.
But I've picked against our friend Jiří before, thinking that the technical prowess and this and that might be too much for him. I don't think I'll ever pick against that man again.
Well, I said that about Alex Pereira. And then I picked against Alex Pereira when he fought Magomed Ankalaev the second time. And now he's fighting Cyril Gane. Yeah. And I'm probably going to pick against him. I'm probably going to do that.
I would, yeah, man. I kind of agree with you on that one with Pereira and Gane. I just think he for being up another weight class, that power. I know it transfers. I know he's a big boy now, but Cyril Gane can strike with any heavyweight.
Did
out
you
there.
see Dean Thomas's comment about that fight?
No.
And just fact check this for me, Harrington, if you can. I saw it this morning on Twitter, and I'm pretty sure I'm saying this correctly. He said, if anything happens with the fight between Alex Pereira and Cyril Gane, the UFC need to scrap the heavyweight division entirely.
I had that coming up for a segment later. Actually, yeah, he for sure did say that. I have the quote.
Yeah, which is I love Dean. He's great. He's served his time. He's definitely entitled to his opinion. But that's a hot take.
That's a hot take. But as you know, Dean loves to throw hot takes out there and just see what happens. He doesn't give a shit what you think about what he's going to say.
He'll throw a hot take while wearing a cravat and being very hot in the studio. He had like a full-on golfing sweater or turtleneck.
Over the jacket over it.
The jacket over it.
Eaton's nuts.
I don't think anything's going to happen in that fight with Pereira and Gane. They're both pretty reliable. They're both heavyweights. They both, they're not malnourishing themselves to make weight or anything like that. So they're going to be fully recovered. But if it did, is it crazy to think that you bring in Tom Aspinall and you just make it for the undisputed title?
What's Tom doing right now?
He's back in training.
Oh, that's a good sign.
He's back in training. I know he was at the fights with Eddie Hearn at the weekend. There was Chisora versus Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, I saw some clips of that.
Yeah. Wilder destroyed Chisora by all accounts.
And was talking to him right before he knocked him out.
I love you. I love you. Says I love you, and then knocks him out.
And then just KOs him.
Tell me if I'm mistaken. Wasn't that like a throwback to Shawn Michaels doing that to Ric Flair?
I have no idea what language you're talking, Harrington. I do know that it's wrestling. I know. That's so like just twisting the knife and rubbing salt in the wound.
Yeah.
I've got you. I'm going to knock you out.
But I love you.
Before I do it, I'm so in control right now. I'm massively, ultimately, the boss of this situation. I'm handling this so much. I'm just going to take my time and just let you know, hey, my bad. Before I do this, I love you, bro. I love you.
But see you later.
Yeah. That man hits hard. Hard.
Yes, he does. My God, he hits hard.
But yeah, you throw Tom Aspinall in there if anything happens. Could you imagine? Because Tom's getting shit on by all the fans. That'd be a pretty good.
That would redeem, and then you go and totally redeem yourself.
I like it. It's normally me with the movie quotes, but you beat me to it. You got it, you little son of a gun.
Still got it.
Imagine he steps up on short notice. I mean, steps up on short notice. Say, whoa, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
I'm the undisputed champ, bitch. If anyone's going to step into this little farcical parade that you've got going on here at the White House, it's me. Yeah. And then he swans in and bingos whoever it is. Now, granted, it wouldn't be easy, but that would be a way to say, hey, guys, all you guys that talk shit, just back off a touch. All right, I got poked in the eye, son.
Yeah, that would be some epic shit, no doubt about it.
Yeah, it was a lot of if, buts, and maybes, and we're going down a rabbit hole that we shouldn't have gone down.
We're filling time. We're got guests
until Steve Garcia comes. Right, I need a prediction from you on the Jiří Procházka fight. Break it down for me, Paul.
I'm gonna go I go for this Jiří Procházka. I picked against him before. I love that he's there early. I love that he's fighting because he's got a baby on the way that he's got to get back home to. I think he's crazy. I think he's wild. And I think he's going to get the job done. I think that if he doesn't get caught with like the super clean shots that his opponent is capable of putting out there, I think he gets the job done. I really do. And I like Ulberg, like you talked about. I really do think he's a great guy. I think he's a very talented fighter, but I would love to see Jiří get that belt.
Are you talking about the kind of shots where he knocked out Alonzo Menifield in 12 seconds?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the kind of shots where he knocked out Dominic Reyes in Perth in the very first round? How many times do you think Jiří Procházka has been knocked out? I have it right here in front of me.
3 times?
4 times.
Yeah.
Twice by Alex Pereira. I forgot about this one. One by King Mo.
Was that in
back
Japan?
in the day. And then one way down at the start of his career by some guy called Abdul Karim Eldilov. And that went down in Moscow, Russia. First round. Oh, no, that was a rear naked choke. No, this one's Bohan Velikovic. That went down in Belgrade, Serbia. Bohan. He's the son of a bitch. You know. I don't think Jiří's damaged goods. So you've got Jiří.
I'm going Jiří.
Yeah. I'm going Jiří. But it's not I'm going Jiří with my heart.
Yes.
Well, I love Carlos. I do. I sat down with Carlos a couple of times over the years, on the road and this and that. And he was a guest fighter, I think in Baku or somewhere. And he was sitting having breakfast by himself. And we had some chats. He's a really nice guy. There's no diva to him. He's not a superstar in his own mind. He's a really cool, hardworking guy that deserves this position. He's tall, he's long, he's got a cleaner style. He's got all the reasons to pick for him in this one. But I'm a sucker for Jiří Procházka. I love everything about the guy. I love the craziness. I love the authenticity. I love the fact he's sitting there in the podcast with the samurai sword. I love I'm a sucker for all this type of old school throwback traditional martial arts shit, being a specialist, being original, being unique in a sport where now it's kind of sometimes rinse and repeat because everyone kind of follows the same pattern, the same strategies, the same kind of training, push them up against the fence, level change, do this, get a whizzer, get an underhook, and up you pop, right? No, Jiří's going all out fucking madness. Do you know what I mean? And throwing shit with conviction, like that double spinning elbow against Dominic Reyes, right? Beautiful. How can you not love that? And then you speak to him and he's so emotional for his love of combat, right? Yeah. So fuck it. I'm letting my heart choose it. Because if I use my head, I pick Carlos Ulberg. If someone said, and I don't know if I mean this actually now, I'm going to say it. Someone said, we're going to blow. Hello, Ford. Come here, Ford. Up. Come on, come say hi. Come here. Up, come here. Get up. Oh, he's run off. I'm not getting on the pod.
Yeah.
I'm camera shy. Come on, get out of here. Rebecca's gone for a haircut. She's left the back door open. He's been in the goddamn pool and he's soaking wet and he's getting water now all over the place. No, if someone said, I'm going to put a gun to your head, I'm going to blow out you, I'm going to kill your family. But so you got to pick right. I was going to say I'd probably pick Ulberg, but I don't know because Jiří has that X factor. He's got that will to win.
He's got I go for this.
Harrington and Brian, who you got? So yeah, fuck it. My family's probably going to die, but I'll take it. I'll take it to be a Jiří Procházka supporter. We
got to go with Jiří. I mean,
no one's going to take Carlos.
I can't.
I mean, look, man, you're if you really want to put the screws to me like that, I'll make the case. Sure.
No, don't make it if you don't feel it.
No, I mean, I've been coming into this fight like the thing that I keep looking back on is like, at the end of the day, Carlos Ulberg is only been in this MMA game committed like that for the last 4 or 5 years or so, a very decorated kickboxing career, got his start all the way back in 2011. But it's like he went from being a high level kickboxer to the Contender Series and then right into the UFC. Jiří, I feel like, has been living MMA through and through and just has more tools when push comes to shove.
Yeah. And then also, like, I'm looking at his record here way back in the day. It's not that old. I was retired. 2018, beating people like Brandon Halsey, right? You won't know that name. I used to train with him. He's like a stud wrestler. I think he was a Bellator champ at one point as well. And like, he's coming through that Eastern Europe, Russia, Moscow, those Serbia type of countries. There's some crazy, tough, hard, broke ass, skin-headed, psychotic motherfuckers in those parts of the world. Do you know what I mean? It's not an easy place to cut your teeth in the sport of mixed martial arts. Let me tell you that.
Yeah. I think he's just faced the crazier more battle tested. He's fought and won the belt already before. I just think he's got a lot of things going his way to go out there and get it done. And he's fucking crazy, man.
He's absolutely out of his mind.
Have you
It
been
gets
to
you
Prague?
far in this sport.
Have you been to Prague?
No, I was supposed to go many years ago, and I had that punctured lung when we went to Prague.
I haven't been there with the
disappointed.
UFC, but I've been there multiple times. It's a pit stop for a lot of UK people. A lot of people go there on like stag parties, bachelor parties, and stuff like that. It's a couple of hours flight. It's a party place, and the center is beautiful, really old and historic. You get out of that center bit though. Right,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Tbilisi, Georgia. You get out of there. There's a lot of graffiti. There's a lot of like, there's an edge. Let's just put it like that. And Jiří Procházka was grown up in those parts of the city. I'm sure he wasn't in like the fancy touristy neighborhood sipping on teas. No, he was sniffing petrol fumes out of cars, right, and getting in mass brawls. He was.
That
He told us that
explains quite
ages
a
ago,
bit.
didn't he? That's why he's crazy. So it's a straight sweep.
Yeah, I can't make the case for Ulberg, man. I just think Jiří submitted Glover Teixeira.
Yeah.
Jiří won the belt by submitting Glover. Like
Jiří has 32 wins with 31 stoppages as well.
It's insane.
Unless you can knock him out dead cold, you're not going to beat him.
He's the one who was promised, man.
I'm not. I think he might get dropped at some point. Like if he runs on to a punch from Ulberg, he might end up getting dropped. But I still think he's going to find a way to win.
With that said, we do have the one and only Mean Machine, Steve Garcia. Steve, real quick, my brother, before we get into it, and thanks for your time. This weekend, UFC 327, Jiří Procházka, Carlos Ulberg. Yeah. We just had a clean sweep. We all just picked Jiří. We understand there's a dangerous matchup for him with Carlos Ulberg, but we just love Jiří Procházka. Who do you think wins this weekend, buddy? I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, man, I love Jiří too. I mean, he's our type of crazy, right? Maybe a little more.
Yeah,
a little more. I love it. I love it, man. So like, I totally get it, but man, I feel like Ulberg is super hungry. I honestly kind of feel like this. If there's a time for Jiří to like get it, rain, it's his time. But Ulberg, man, he looks so clean against who did he fight? Reyes.
Right, yeah.
Like he was hitting angles. His 1-2 was sharp. I mean, it was something. It was beautiful. Like for me, it was just beautiful. And I was like, okay, he fought Roundtree. Roundtree is a killer. Like he's one of my favorite fighters. Not gonna lie, but he just ate shot after shot after shot, and I'm just like, it's so hard. But I'm kind of going with the hunger. I'm gonna go with the other guy. I know you guys are going here, but I'm gonna go Ulberg just because I think
we need somebody to come in here and speak some honesty to us because we've had Jiří on a bunch. We love the dude, so
he's cool.
It's tough.
Yeah, I want to be one of those two guys hanging out in his hotel room after his fight. That's how much I love him.
Dude, one time, I think I fought on one of his cards. I can't remember which one I fought on, but he was outside like the stadium, just like screaming and just chanting. Bro, I'm serious. Like we're like walking around, digesting our food, and bro, he was doing some crazy stuff outside. So the dude's on. Yeah, he's doing something. And me and my dad are just like, "What's going on here?"
Your
but
dad's probably like, "What the fuck?"
He's like, "We're just gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep going. Just keep walking. Walk a little faster."
Contact. Anyway, Steve, thanks for your time. We spoke just recently, so we might go over some of all that stuff. But anyway, welcome to the Believe You Me podcast once again. And mate, you are opening up the White House. It is a huge event. It's one of a kind. Yeah. Congratulations. You're taking on Diego Lopez. Give me your thoughts on this entire situation and finding yourself in this kind of one-of-a-kind spot.
Yeah, man. A lot of people get to these positions with their mouths. One thing that I can always say is that I got to this position with my hard work. I'm truly blessed, but they're trash talk, and some people are just really good at it. Michael Bisping was one of the best at it. You got Chelson, you got some of these guys that just know how to talk, and man, it definitely just turns heads, right? I'm just not good at it. So I'm not gonna even try, right? So you know what? One thing I know how to do is I know how to get it, right? So I just knew just like beating like the next guy in front of me every single time I stepped in the cage was just definitely gonna excel me forward. Even if it was a slower route, even if it was a harder route, I was okay with it. And finding someone like Diego Lopez, who has a lot of hype, who is very, very talented. He has the status to back up, how good he really is. I mean, he just can't beat Volk. You know what I mean? So I mean, he's got to fight the next best guy, and I think I'm the next best guy. A little bias here, but what a way to open up the White House card with me and him, man.
Yeah, and Steve, just having somebody like Diego, who not only has a super high ranking, who's fought for the belt twice, but has that style like yourself, who's not afraid to bite down, throw fists, get into a big fight, good on the ground, but doesn't really necessarily try to get it there himself. Guys often take him there, and that's where he's really good as well. But how excited are you to not only be fighting on the White House, but you fighting somebody like Lopez, who's going to bring the action to somebody like yourself, who is just action-packed every time we see you?
I think this has like fight of the night potential all over it. You know what I mean? I really don't see this going to a decision. I think both of us will try to kill each other till one of us falls, and may the best man win. I got tons of respect for Diego Lopez. I think I've told Mike, I'm like, dude, I'm a Lopez fan, but I'm an even bigger Steve Garcia fan, and I'm not gonna shy away from a challenge. I embrace it, just like anybody else would, especially that's trying to aim to wear that belt around their waist, So I welcome this fight, and I can't wait to. I think honestly, this is going to be the most viewed event ever. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You know what I mean? The Super Bowls are crazy, but man, everybody I think is going to tune into this event. It sucks that one of us has to lose, right? But I don't know if there's really a loser in this fight. You know what I mean? We're both going to go out there and we're going to show each other what we got. The only thing is I got America on my shoulders. You know what I mean? I got to show up and I got to represent. It's like Olympics for me.
Does that bring extra pressure? Because obviously, it is a massive event. And the reason they've made this matchup is because Diego is your straight fire inside the octagon. You're on a 7-fight win streak. 6 of those are by way of stoppage. They're very, very violent. One would assume you two are going to go at the middle. You ain't going to take a backward step. You're going to throw down, and it's going to be great, right? And that's the best way to kick it off. As you say, you're a proud American. Does that bring a little bit extra? Because you're like, fuck, I ain't losing at the White House, man.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, pressure... Like, they say like pressure's a privilege and stuff like that. Like, I can understand when people say that, but you know what, man? Like, you can let in what you allow in. You know what I mean? Like, if you just let everybody just tell you everything, then maybe you need to shut some people up. You know what I mean? You need to kind of make your circle a little bit closer, or quieter, smaller. And for me, at first, it does get you. I will say that. You're like, man, I'm going to be fighting in the White House. Everybody was dying to be on this. You know what I mean? It was crazy. I didn't necessarily put my name in the pot, which was great. But when they had the call, when Hunter called my manager, he's like, give me somebody who's been bringing it and that will put on a show for the fight fans. And he's like, Steve Garcia. You know what I mean? And I don't think Hunter was expecting that. But he's like, get him on the phone. Get him on the phone. You know what I mean? And he wanted to know about me and he wanted to know about my family. Make sure I didn't have any criminal records or anything like that too, because that's important right now. And I told him mom's good, man. And I just, obviously there's a lot more said. I just told him, man, I was like, I've been showing up at the Apex with what? At that time when I was in, there was like 500 people. I was like, damn well I'm going to show up at the White House. I'm going to bring it to everything I got. So he loved that. He loved that. So I hope I sold him with something, but I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it.
You did sell them because here you are. And, I think that's what people overlooked when they were looking at this White House card too, right? I think they expected all of these mega superstars, right? But they want to make sure that people are going to want to love these fights and see the action. And how does that feel to know that, hey, you're one of those guys that they know is going to bring it? Because this isn't necessarily just about, who's got the absolute biggest name in the UFC right now. It's about guys that are going to deliver on the fight. And you're one of those guys, Steve. And also, are you aware that like when you go out there, if you get a win on Saturday night, you are going to go from however many people know who you are now. I mean, all the diehards, we all know you and you're on the rise, no doubt about it. But after that card on Sunday at the White House, if you get your hand raised, or even if you don't, Steve, and it's a banger of a fight, which it will be, Yeah. You go from where you're at to the whole United States for sure is going to know who Steve Garcia is.
Yeah. No, it's a special thing, man. It's a special thing. I'm literally going from a nobody to somebody, and it's been trickling. It's been trickling. You know what I mean? It's been getting better. It's getting better. I mean, I'm a guy, bro. Like, I'm literally fighting on the Wilds. I have no Topps card. I'm not in the game. People don't know who I am. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, I maybe, but again, I like that, bro. It pisses me off so much. It makes me so mad because it's funny. Everybody that I've knocked out all have Topps cards. Everybody that I've knocked out has literally had that type of luxury.
Are they in the game?
I don't know if they're in the game. I know people like Sean Woodson, love the guy. He's not even ranked. He's in the game. You know what I mean? There's people that are in the game, and it's fine. I like my whole thing is like I'm a gamer too. So like I won't play that game until I'm in it. That was like that was like my goal to myself. But besides the fact, go look at all my fights, bro. I mean, okay, maybe not all of them. All my 45 fights, because I'm undefeated as a 45er in the UFC. I went and I fought every single body, every single person just about besides Calvin Cade. I dropped him too, but everybody else is on my highlight reel, bro. And that's what I loved about like the way that I got brought up, you know, and I was an underdog in many of those fights, but I finished every single person. So like I had the proof. I have the resume to show you, look at what I've done. Look at what I've done. I've knocked out this guy. I've knocked out this guy. Knocked out this guy. A lot of the guys that I fought went on streaks after I beat them. You know what I mean? Chase Hooper went on like a 5-fight win streak. Costa's on a 5-fight win streak. I think when I fought Nelson, he was like on a 3-fight win streak. All these guys had streaks. You know what I mean? But they step in there with me and it's different. It's just different.
Costa's absolutely flying right now. You know,
he's killing it.
That's a one on the resume that is
smoked him second round.
He was fighting two people that night. He fought me and the ref. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like it's just different when you're in there with me. And I'm not trying to be full of myself. I'm just I like that people are starting to see. You know what I mean?
It's not being full of yourself, Steve. It's realizing what you're capable of. It's realizing what you've achieved. It's looking at the last few years and the success that you've had. There's a reason, as you say, why you're in this position fighting at the White House. There's only one fight that gets to open this event, one of a kind. You know what I'm saying? And you deserve it. You fucking deserve it, man. So talk that shit. Puff your chest out because you fucking, you know what I mean? This is a crazy situation. What else has been going on around? I mean, because I'm assuming like if I was fighting on the White House, my agent would be out there pimping that shit out, looking for endorsements left, right, and center. Is like that side of things going well and picking up?
It's picking up a little bit. I was in Vegas for the fight night that they had and stuff, and I got to do a few things. I actually kind of did like a little deal with Built, you know, the clothing brand and stuff.
This is Built.
Oh, dude, their stuff's great, bro. Like,
fuck those. They used to send me free shit. Now I gotta order it and pay for it. So, like, you know, out.
Next time I go, I'm like, hey, hook my man Bisping up with some more t-shirts, bro.
Bro, I repped Built to the highest level for years and years. I just no, I'm joking. They sent me a ton of shit.
Dude, like they're great and stuff. So it's starting to pick up a little bit, gain some traction and stuff. But I try not to think about too much of that stuff because like the main focus is winning at the White House, you know, making sure that I put my stamp on it. This camp is going to be miserable. You know, I'm going to make sure of it just so that I go out there and I'm as prepared as possible. I have a very difficult, tough task, you know, that night. I have Diego Lopez and I plan to make it as easy as possible on me, which means that, you know, I'm trying to go for that finish. I'm going for that bonus. You know what I mean? I'm gonna even try to talk to them like, bro, this is Freedom 250. Let's get a 250K bonus in here. You know what I mean? I might
have a feeling, and I don't know this. This is not inside information, but I have a feeling there's going to be something special for you guys on that card. I mean, there's only 6 fights. You guys are on the White House card. You're right there on the South Lawn. Like something special is definitely going to go down. So, and you've got what, 4 UFC bonuses already?
I have 4, man. And I had the 50K bonuses.
Steve, I've had 6 of them in my career. And I'm like, God, if I could only fight nowadays and have those bonuses, it'd be a hell of a lot better.
Let me ask you, Steve.
Go ahead.
Me and Paul have heard a couple of things, nothing official. But some surprises, some special things that the UFC are going to do for the event. But like, what have you heard? And if it's like in terms of Like when you get there, where you warm up and all like the logistics and stuff like that. Because Rogan was talking, I heard on a podcast saying, "Well, it's going to be like 100-degree heat, and like where are you going to warm up? Are you going to be getting sunburned?
Summer,
like
it
that?
could be like it's just going to be humid, right? Like in New Mexico, I know I've trained there. It gets super super hot, but it could be like 75. But it might be like 80% humidity. So hydrate, Steve. Hydrate.
Let me just say this though. I just want to say this though, because when Rogan was saying that, because he was saying it wasn't ideal conditions, and he's right, it's not. But in my mind, and I'm sure in your mind as well, Steve, I was like, the fighter in me is like, I don't give a shit what the conditions are, because we're all going through that. We get to be a part of something truly historical and one of a kind. So I don't give a shit what the warm-up area is like. I want to go to war at the White House. You know what I'm saying? How do you approach this fight with Diego, man?
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, you know, to you guys' point, it doesn't really matter what the weather's like. It's like getting to a fist fight with somebody, you know, just off the streets. It don't matter. Like you're just gonna just do it. You're not gonna be like, it's too hot today. You know what I mean? Like you don't get that luxury. But no, man, in this fight with Diego, obviously without giving too much, man, this is probably summed up the best way that I know how. You lock me and Diego Lopez in a room, we're gonna kill each other, and I just gotta make sure I walk out.
Yep.
You lock us in a room. It doesn't matter. We don't need anybody. You know, obviously there's eyes on us and stuff like that, but that room in my head is the cage. I gotta walk out. I gotta walk out with my hand raised. I gotta make sure that I do everything I possibly can, like to where it's almost like he won't win because I won't lose, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And I have to approach it that way. You know what I mean? He's a dangerous guy. He's the other. I feel like if almost like I'm fighting a version of myself, that's Diego. You know what I mean? Like me and him have a lot of similarities. But you know what, bro? Like he had his time. Love the guy, but he had his time. He has 2 shots with Volk. He's still an amazing fighter. Like I said, if Volk wasn't a champ, he would be. You know what I mean? So he's the next best guy in line. And I go through him, and then I want Volk. I want that title shot. So I know they're trying to push Masvidal and they're trying to push Gene, but if I beat Diego beat Gene. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's a scrap. You know what I mean? And I'll fight either one of them to get that shot if I need to with Volk. But either way, I'm a fighter, man. That's what I do. This is what I get paid to do. This is my day job, bro. Like I don't care. Like, do I have to fight 5 more guys? I honestly thought I was gonna have to fight 5 or 6 more guys because I don't have the push. I don't have that push. And I've always been okay with it. But that's fine. It is what it is. Like I've always been the underdog. I've always been the guy that nobody really would bet money on. I'm starting to become that guy, you know, and I'm appreciative of that. But like I still have that like underdog mentality where I have that chip on my shoulder, got something to prove.
Steve, just along those lines, right? That was kind of what I was going to ask you next is you go out there, you beat Diego Lopez, who's fought Volk 2 times. Is there a preference on somebody? Let's say you don't get to slide in for that title fight, which who knows what happens after Saturday night, right? Or Sunday at the White House, right? That's such a massive card for the UFC and such a special moment that, like I said, with a win there, you become a household name overnight. But if they're like, it's still going to be Evloev, he's got to get the next shot. Is there somebody that you would love to fight? And with a win there, I imagine people are going to want to be fighting you because you're going to have a huge status next to you. Is there somebody that you'd want? Is it John Silva? Is it Lerone Murphy's coming off a loss? He's high in the rankings. What do you think?
I think they're trying to push Gene, so I'll go give me Gene.
Yeah, that'd be a crazy.
That's who I would push. I mean, you fight someone like Diego, go into another fight right with Gene Silva. You know, you got 2 bangers on your hands. I think you know what's not to like about that. I think that seems like a more fun fight than watching me fight Masvidal or watching me fight. You know, Murphy would be a fine fight too. Yep. But you know, I think Gene is just more exciting. You know, he cries and he like yells and stuff. He's freaking weird. You know what I mean?
He's got a little Jiří in him.
I was going to say he's a lightweight Jiří Procházka from Brazil. You know,
instead of, you know, screaming at the moon.
Last question for you, Steve, and we'll let you get out of here. And thanks for your time. And I see you rocking the 3-punch combo hoodie as well.
Yeah. I told him I'd wear it. I was like, I'll hop on him.
They support the show as well. So I want to ask you this, Steve. As a guy that's been a lifelong fighter, and all of us fighters, life is generally pretty hard growing up, and most people aren't like Armand Saruki and flying around the world in bloody private jets and you know, driving Bentleys and all that type of shit. When you came to the UFC, you lost against Luis Pena. Then you lost again in Singapore. I remember that. And you talked about this recently, and that was hard. How good does it feel to now be riding this 7-fight win streak and to get an opportunity like this? What does it mean to you personally, like given everything you've gone through in life?
No, man, it means a lot. Like your whole goal was to get to the UFC, and then you get to the UFC, and then you hit these bumps. You're like, oh man, like I'm here, and like these guys are good. And again, I was fighting at 55. I was going through some things, but I had a few people that really got behind me, and I really had to like. And I'm a man of faith. Like I always like pray to God. I'm like, God, just open doors I need open. You know what I mean? So I can walk through them. I'll do the work. That's how I've always thought. And after my loss in Singapore, Greg told me, he's like, Steve, we can suffer in the sauna or we can suffer or deal with our difficulties in the cage. You tell me which one you want to do. And he's like, I think you're a little bit small for 55, but, you know, we can always grow, you know, get, you know, bigger and stuff. I was like, no, we're going to go back to 45. So that was like one guy. Two, you know, who really helped me a lot was Forrest, man. Forrest was like very open to like just helping me. Like we went to the PI, we went and did all the testings and scans and stuff. And bro, that dude was emailing me like for like a week straight, checking up on me. He's like, bro, we're going to get this right. We're going to figure this out. We're going to get you down. He says, I know where you belong. I know you got potential. I've seen you come up before. And he like, you have people like that in your corner that I didn't even know I had in my corner, but they were just there trying to help me. It meant a lot, you know what I mean? And he's like, no, Steve, like there's something about you. He says, let's definitely figure out how we can get you going. Along with my coaches, along with my wife, along with like the support I've had held down here. And it was in a way, like as much as I do, I hold on to that like nasty feeling that I had in Singapore, dude, like sitting on the bench. I'll never forget it because that's almost like my anchor. Just remember, like I thought I lost my job. I just felt like the, you know, bottom of the barrel, just trash, you know what I mean? And I hold on to it because I know I don't ever want to forget what that feels like, because that is the worst feeling on earth. And I worked too hard to like feel that way. You know what I mean? So I had a few things changed, you know, clicks, and I got rid of people that went like quiet on me. You know what I mean? There was crickets on certain things. So that's what's good about a loss, is that like the people that reached out to me, the people that were caring for me in that time, I kept in my circle. Yeah. Everybody else that was just around me and all that stuff like that. And then all of a sudden you lose, they're nowhere to be found. You know, I'm like, all right, I kind of had an idea about you, whatever the case is. And I just kind of just shuffled a few things. And so at that point, you know, I talked to my manager. He gave me another shot. It was against Chase Hooper, and I was supposed to just lose. I was supposed to like get choked out in like 30 seconds. That's what they were implying. And I told my manager, I was like, look, I'm not going to embarrass you. Thank you for giving me another shot. I was like, all I need is one more. I was like, I promise you. I was like, I'm not going to embarrass you. And I went out there. I starched him, you know, a couple times, and you know, got my hand raised. And then I started to believe in myself, you know what I mean? And I was like, Steve, you got it. You got it. Just keep going. Who cares about all this other nonsense? Like, don't worry about all that stuff. Like, you got it. Focus on what we're doing. We're here to fight. Don't trash talk. Don't go on social media and start blasting people. Whatever the case is, just like stay focused. Because you know what? The hard work is always there's like, that's like where you can really, really tell if somebody's going to be good or not, is in the hard work, right? It's in the grind. It's in the gym, because it correlates to the fight. I know a lot of people that try to trash talk, and then they get 2 fights in over there, you know, at weigh-ins doing tricks and stuff with knives and hats and hairs. And I'm like, nah. I was like, what you see is what you get. I'm raw. I'm just raw as can be. And it's got me this far. So, I mean, I'm truly blessed about, you know, my journey. You know, I've had a ton of downs. I've also been, you know, having a lot of ups, you know, and it's just part of the process. You guys know firsthand, you know, I'm talking to 2 legendary fighters myself, and you guys know the roller coaster of the sport. And I'm grateful for the lows, man. I really am.
Well, powerful words. And you're absolutely right, man. Because as you say, like, you work so fucking hard. You do everything right. You lose a fight, and it's like, and you're dedicating so much time and your entire life to trying to make this happen. And sometimes that's just the way it goes. And then you've got people talking shit online as well, just to make it even crazier. Steve, congrats on all the success. Congrats on your position and the fight at the White House. Good luck against Diego. Wish you all the best. And thanks again for your time, man.
Thanks, man. It's always a pleasure, brother. Thank you, guys.
Come on. Take care, Steve.
All right. You guys have a good day.
Later, brother. All right, today's episode is sponsored by BetterHelp, that are here to help you with some online therapy that is done very, very conveniently in your own time. Now, of course, it's that tax time of year. Financial stress affects far more than just your bank account. It can take a serious toll on your mental health and your relationships, with 88% of Americans feeling some kind of financial stress at the start of 2026. Money worries often bring about anxiety, sleep disruption, and even depression. And one of the leading sources of conflict for couples, by the way. This month, we want to normalize the emotional weight of financial stress and remind people that struggling with money doesn't mean you failed. Sometimes it's just about accessing the right kind of support. And listen, I've been there, because that financial stress really does become overwhelming. And when life feels overwhelming, therapy can help. And by the way, if you sign up, you'll get 10% off at betterhelp.com/BYM. Now, remember, with BetterHelp, it's all at your convenience. You can do it from any time. You can do it on your phone. You don't have to jump in the car and drive over to the other side of town and find a parking space and all the rest of it. You can talk about anything, whether it's substance abuse, whether it's relationship issues, whether it's anger management or financial stress. Speaking to somebody really helps, because with over 30,000 therapists, BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy platform. They have helped over 6 million people globally, and it works with an average rating of 4.9 out of 5 for a live session based on over 1.7 million client reviews. When life feels overwhelming, therapy can help. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/BYM. That's better, HELP, betterhelp.com/BYM.
All right, we got 3 minutes to Tommy.
Oh, you guys are still there?
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
What do I? My monitor unplugged.
Oh no. Yeah, you didn't disappear at all. I did see you stressing out for a second, though.
Yeah. There we go. I'm back. Leave all this in. I don't care. As long as there was nothing inappropriate said, I don't care. The man's got to pee, you know?
Oh, for sure.
What can I tell you? We got a few minutes until Tommy jumps on. Do we have that video of Jon Jones, Brian?
Yeah, I can get it right.
Did you see this, Paul?
Yeah. When he flipped the guy off that in the car.
I mean, to Jon Jones' credit, though, he didn't fucking smash the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it up.
And apparently Jones says that he was chasing him down for a while, you know. Apparently so.
Apparently.
Let me see what the statement was from Jones on Twitter. Because he came out and said something. I thought, hold on. What's his Twitter handle? Jon Jones, or is it something weird?
Bones
Jones.
Bones Jones. I should know this.
I have it here if you want me to.
Yeah, go on. Thank you. Ricky Bones. Bobby
Johnny Bones.
Bobby Bones show. You got, does Noodle have bones? Tasty bones. Just read it out, for crying out loud.
Okay. The kid proceeded to chase my car down for 2 blocks, revving his engine and trying to intimidate me. I'm glad this happened to me, and I'm not one of the senior citizens in our community. I am proud of myself for standing up for myself and not allowing that kind of bullying or intimidation.
And now do we have the video? Yeah, here we go.
What, bro? Trying to get into? You're almost fucking hitting me, bro.
You gotta calm down, bro.
Yeah, bro, you gotta learn how to drive, bro. You
gotta relax yourself, bro.
You're almost hitting me with your truck, bro. You're almost hitting me, bro. What the fuck?
What do you make of that video, bro? What is your take?
I'm glad John didn't kill him or punch him in the face, because it was curious that his hand was in his pocket the whole time. So knowing,
do we think it was a gun?
I think for sure, and he's probably allowed to have concealed weapon in New Mexico. So I mean, I don't think he's even doing anything wrong by having it.
And he's a gun guy.
He's definitely a gun guy. And I'm sure that dude's a dickhead, to be completely honest with you. Now, who knows who's in the wrong? We'll never really know if that guy was on John's ass or if he did something wrong, but at least he showed some restraint, and he didn't sound like he was slurring his words. So that's a good sign.
Yeah. Not really. Yeah, you're right. God knows what happened beforehand. Rebecca's take was, why is everything filmed?
Everything. Everybody films everything these days.
And I said, well, it's to document it. Car pulls up, Jon Jones, who's not a small guy, gets out.
He says he didn't know it was him until.
Yeah, I bet he didn't.
Yeah.
If you know it's Jon Jones.
Yeah, then you're looking for that moment. You know what I mean? If you're trying to.
You're a little punk kid, though. Let's just say, what John said is accurate. You don't know that's the greatest mixed martial artist of all time that you're chasing down the street, being all crazy with, honking your horn and like gesturing and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even still, when the 250 plus pound man comes out of the car with his hand in his pocket like that, I would just diffuse instead of being like, whatever that guy said.
Yeah.
Yeah. He still continued being a bit cocky, talking shit, Yeah, phone or not, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 250-pound guy gets out of the car, massive dude, whether or not you know it's Jon Jones or not, intimidating looking guy, probably got a gun in his pocket, late at night, mean streets of Albuquerque, New Mexico. Phones can go missing. Just because you've got a phone in your hand doesn't mean that all of a sudden you are safe from any potential outcome.
No, it definitely does not. If that's just a dude that's that big and is just a fucking tough ass gangster that comes up to you and fucking puts one in your head.
Yeah.
You think he gives a shit if he's just some criminal? You know what I mean? Like he don't care that you have your phone. He's taking the phone.
Unless he's live streaming.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only problem. But other than that, you're screwed. If he wanted to do something dangerous, it's crazy, man. And we don't know the real story. We don't know what happened.
That's the problem. We don't know if John's the one that was wrong. We don't know if this kid's the one that's wrong.
Well, it's crazy though, because
and then the question is, if there wasn't a phone involved, does Jon do a little more there?
Yeah, I'm sure that slows you down because Jon's been embroiled in a lot of controversy. You're like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the equalizer. He's got the iPhone 16. There he is.
He's live streaming me.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's just another example. I mean, let's just say that what Jon said is what happened. People are very comfortable talking shit to people that you shouldn't be talking shit to. Now, granted, that doesn't mean in this society that you can't have someone be an asshole and stand up to them. If that's the case, fair play to the guy. But still, you know what I mean? In this dangerous world that we live in, and it is dangerous times, and there's a lot of crazy shit goes on, maybe don't pull over the car and let a gigantic dude like Jon Jones come at you in the dark of night.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it.
And there's something about being behind the wheel of a car as well, where people's tempers go to an 11.
Yeah.
Are you a road rager, Paul?
I'm not really. I'll yell in my car and things like that, but I'm not necessarily going out of my way to chase you down and flip you off and do all that. I've had guys start shit with me in the car, and then I've rolled my window down and yelled at them. I've had a guy recognize who I was and then apologize in the car while he's doing it. He's like, oh, my bad, dude. And then reached out to me on social media, and he's like, I'm the guy that was yelling at you in the car. My bad, bro.
Can I get a picture?
Yeah.
No, the last time I had one, I was driving back from the Apex a couple of years ago. I think I told the story on here. And there was an accident or something. So we had to take some indirect path through some little desert road that was just completely backed up. And maybe I might have cut in front of someone real quick when I saw an opportunity, because we weren't moving for ages.
Yeah.
And then the guy's just honking his horn like crazy. It's a big pickup truck, and he's beeping it and he's flashing his lights. And I've got the window down. I'm like, fuck off, out the car. But we're not moving. And then he jumps out of the car and he walks up to the side and he's banging on my window. Put the window down. And I put the window down. And he was just like some fat Mexican dude. And he looked like a gun type. You know what I'm saying? I stood my ground. He's like, get out your car or something. I can't remember now what he said. I'm like, you don't want that to happen. Okay? Walk away. You don't want that to happen. He's like, yeah, fuck you, man. Da, 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 da. But I was like, I think he's got a gun.
Yeah.
I think he's got a gun. I ain't getting out of this car unless I have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not worth getting shot over some road rage shit. It's tough, though. It's tough to pull yourself back in those moments because you just want nothing more than to get out and.
Oh, no, I had something recently, actually, and the guy was honking at me, and Rebecca was saying the same thing. She's like, he might have a gun. I'm going, that he has not got a gun. You can tell the gun types, and you never know because Kenny Florian's a gun guy, so you can't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, you wouldn't know that.
Yeah. You wouldn't look at Kenny Florian and think, oh, he's definitely packing a gun.
I had a guy cut me off yesterday, and he just happened to keep going the same way that I was going. So I literally laid on my horn for 2 whole blocks, just right behind this guy.
People just turn into maniacs behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah, that's me. I'm people.
Yeah. Hold on. You want me to now? No, now if you can, please. Tommy Gunn with he's being a superstar.
What did he say?
Hey, Tommy, we're ready and waiting for you now, buddy. If you can jump on. I think he just got the time zones mixed up. PT, CT, ET. It's like us on the group text when we're communicating.
Yeah.
You know, it's not easy. So let's go back to 327. Main event, we've all got Jiří. Can you see the fight card there in front of you? Because
I can get it up.
It's a good fight card. Charles Radke, Francisco Prado. Kelvin Gastelum's on the early prelims versus Vicente Luque. Tatiana Suarez, Lupe Godinez. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown on the prelims. Mateusz Gamrot, Esteban Ribovic. That's a good one. Pitbull and Aaron Pico. And now opening up the main card, Cub Swanson, legend, final fight, taking on Nate the Train. That's going to be an awesome fight, guaranteed. Dominic Reyes and Johnny Walker. I think Dominic Reyes probably, I don't know actually. I was going to say probably catches Johnny. Johnny's unpredictable.
This could be a double knockout. Didn't we say that? Or one of the guys on here, I think. Was it one of you guys that said it could be the first double knockout?
That could be a double knockout. Josh Holkett, Curtis Blades.
Yeah. That's a big jump up.
Josh Holkett saying something wild on the microphone if he gets the win.
Aaron
What are the
Pico.
odds?
Oh, 100%.
100%. 100%. Like Steve Garcia says, he doesn't want to, talk trash and all the rest of it. Josh Holkett is like, he does
the opposite. He's written it out weeks in advance.
So, I'm looking at the odds for that fight. Holkett plus 117, Blades minus 122. That is way closer than I think a lot of people would assume that would be, no?
Yeah,
but Holkett's undefeated. I think he's only is he 8-0? I think. Let me just scroll down here. Yeah, 8-0, 5 knockouts. Last time Denzel Freeman, granted, new to the UFC, but still, he put it on him from the opening bell, beat the crap out of him, took him down. This guy, Holkett, was a wrestler. He was a former professional football player. Now he's in the UFC, and he's still only had 8 fights. So, like, he's operating on just pure adrenaline. Because you know how it is, Paul. When you first start your fights, the adrenaline's through the roof, and then you learn to control it the longer in your career that you go. I think Curtis Blades, having been there, fought for the belt, had that win over Tom Aspinall, then fought him for the undisputed title. He's had ups and downs. He's a dangerous guy. He's big. He can wrestle. He's got knockout power. But I think he's going to be much more calculated and calm in there, which, again, I always say you want to be like that.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to weather a storm from Josh Holkett because he's just going to come at you like a maniac.
Yeah, that's an interesting fight because there's so many questions still on Holkett. I mean, like you said, he's only 8-0, hasn't had a ton of UFC fights yet. And they've been 2 finishes, right? Just 2 fights in UFC so far, 1 contender series fight.
What about this? Paulo Costa. Now he's the co-main event against Azamat Mirzakhanov. Right? Yeah. Costa, up and down. Like he's like kind of one of the, I'm not saying one of the biggest what ifs.
Yeah, I like Mirzakhanov in that fight.
No, he's 16-0. He's undefeated.
Yeah,
Speaking of undefeated prospects, look at this guy.
Is he on? Hey,
what's going on, Tommy?
What's up, guys? How's it going?
We're good, man. We're good. Hey, never mind that. How you going? Because Saturday night you made your UFC debut. Crazy, wild fight. first round stoppage, records 10-0. You pick up $100K bonus. Said you were going to go blow it at the blackjack table. Did you do that? Did you win? Did you lose?
I had a good night. We won a lot. Yeah, it was a wild night, man. I actually just got home this morning. I literally haven't even slept since my fight. It's been a fun weekend, bro. But I'm back home in Arizona now. I just got home from the dojo, grabbed the coffee, saw the boys for a little bit, and yeah, man. I mean, it was the funnest night of my life, and I'm happy I got the bonus. I'm happy I got to deliver an entertaining fight for the fans. That's all I'm trying to do. So it was a good night for me.
Yeah, I'd say it was a good night, man. Anytime you go in there in the debut and you bring the action. And listen, you're a dude that says you're going to fight like that. You say you're going to go out there and bring action, and you did. Now, Tommy, as you keep going, you've got this wrestling, you've got these other skills. Are we ever going to see that, or is this just how you want things to play out, or did you just want to make a statement off the bat, or is that just how you get down every time, dude?
No, it's a little bit of both. I think I knew I have so many more tools to show people in the future, and it all just depends on what kind of opponent I'm fighting.
Yeah.
Especially as I keep progressing. I really can be a striker that sits back and stays clean. I spar with really high-level people, kickbox with them, outpoint them all the time. Tim will say the same thing. But, honestly, in this fight, I really was just trying to brawl. I was like, I want to go out there, first fight ever in my UFC debut, and brawl for 100K. Like, I really wanted 100K. I thought this matchup was the perfect guy to just kind of get down and brawl with. I knew he was going to kind of come out pretty fast-paced, trying to bang with me. I figured that I would outpower him, and I feel like I could stop him in the first round. So I mean, that was a game plan. That's what I said I was going to do, and we did that. And yeah, I'm just happy I got the 100K and put on a fun performance for the fans, man. So.
Obviously, Tommy, we spoke last week, but that's not for public consumption, right? They're fighter meetings, and we keep all that information to ourselves until we are on the broadcast. So for the benefit of everyone watching this, can you just take us through a bit of your background, what brought you here? I mean, just life growing up. Yeah, just give people your background and how you ended up in this situation.
Yeah, I started wrestling at a very young age. Super young, like 3 years old. Some of my youngest memories were me out on the wrestling mat, and then my parents had my older sister at a very young age when they were 15 years old, and me when they were 17, and my little brother when they were 19. And we were all living at my grandparents' house. So my parents have a lot of money. So this is kind of how we got in fighting was my dad was a plumber. Then he'd go home and bake groceries to make extra money. And then he started doing these tough man semi-pro boxing bouts in Montana to make extra money. I remember watching him come home all beat up some nights. Some nights he'd win, some nights he'd lose. And I thought it was the sickest thing ever. So I kind of started training boxing, at a very young age. And then, about third grade rolls around and MMA started to become a thing in Montana, but they were doing it. It was so old school. They were doing it in a ring. My dad started doing MMA fights in third grade. And I remember seeing the UFC on TV and I saw that and I was just those guys just look famous, look like they're doing good in life. It looks like that's how you get money. And I just saw that. And I was like, that's my route in life to try to change my life financially and, help out the people around me, help my family out. And so ever since third grade, I set my eyes on the UFC, and that's been the mission. And then fast forward a few years, probably around sixth grade, I remember seeing a redheaded killer fighting in the local cage fight scenes, but they were in a ring. So this time it was Tim Welch, bro.
I thought you were going to say Felder.
No, not in Montana.
He stood out amongst everybody, because it was very old school in Montana. Not a lot of fucking, high level people, obviously, but Tim Welch, bro, was knocking people out. Had a nasty left hook. I thought he was sick, so always stayed in touch and followed his career. Followed him. I think he went out to he trained out in Missoula, Montana for a while. Then went Portland, Oregon. So and then went out to the MMA lab, and I followed his career. And I was always messaging him on social media, on Facebook back in the day, middle school, saying hey, I want to move out, come train with you when I'm old enough, because I was always smart enough to realize I needed to move somewhere to get good at the sport. Montana can only take you so far. And, then Sugar Shane O'Malley, the boy, he started fighting in the regional scene up in Montana when he was 17, 16. I'm like 4 or 5 years younger than him, 4 years younger than him. So like I couldn't fight at the time, but I was going to all the fights with my dad and he was fighting. And I remember seeing Suge. And Suge was always a very entertaining fighter. So he also stuck out. Like I was like, damn, this kid's style's sick. And then sure enough, I saw Suge move out to the MMA lab, Arizona, to train with Tim. And I saw how good he got, like his improvement. He got so much better when he moved out to Arizona. So I was like, yeah, okay, that's the path for sure. And then sure enough, Suge got signed on Contender Series. And Tim called me up and I just finished, like I was like 18 years old at this time. He's like, hey, Suge's going to buy a house. He just won his Contender Series fight. He's getting in UFC. Do you want to come move out here and rent a room and see if you can do this for a living? And that was 2017. And I packed up my old shitty Honda Accord with no AC, freaking driving that thing around Arizona for like 5 years before I got like a car with AC. But like packed up my car, never looked back. You know, I've been out here since 2017 training under those guys. So like 9 years. We were all at the MMA lab for a while, obviously. And then, you know, Tim kind of branched out, became more of his own coach, started Red Hawk Academy. You know, my loyalty's always laid with Tim. He's done so much for me, him and Suge. So, you know, I'm at the Red Hawk Academy, and that's where I'll be my whole life. So super blessed to be here. And yeah, it's kind of the way I've always kind of seen it going. But, you know, it's still everything going on right now is a big blessing in my life, and it's cool.
Yeah, taught me to go from driving around in a car in Arizona with no AC to getting $100,000 bonuses on Saturday night. It's got to be a little surreal for you right now.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it definitely is. Like I said, I haven't even slept. We partied our asses off, had a lot of fun, gambled, rented a cabana by the pool all day Sunday. Like, but you know,
you did it right.
Yeah, we did. But it feels good. It feels good to be back. You know, now I'm back home in my little condo right next to the. I moved right next to the gym a while ago, so I'm just no distractions. 2 and 4 from the gym. You know, I got my little golden doodle here, Draco. So it feels good to be home. I was gonna stay in Vegas a little longer, but I actually want to get home for a few days because I got to go up to Montana this weekend. Because Suge and Tim can't make a trip, and we got 2 guys fighting on the Fusion Fight League card up in Montana. One's fighting for a belt. They're both 2 tough, undefeated amateur MMA fighters that also moved out here from Montana right after my Contender Series fight, you know, because it's kind of like just seems to be the thing to do now. If you're from Montana, you want to fight, you come out to Arizona with Tim Welch. So it's pretty cool. So I'm headed up to Montana on Thursday, and I'm going to go up there and corner those guys and bring home a couple dubs. So
nice. I like what you're doing there just by giving other people the same opportunity that you had. I spoke to Paul about this, and I talked a little bit about it on the broadcast. I was really impressed when we spoke last week, Tommy, because you were very, very mature. The way that you were looking at the opportunities and where you are in life. I mean, obviously it's a daunting prospect. You come off the Contender, you're going into the UFC. But as I said, I was very impressed by your level of maturity. Clearly, you've had success in the octagon. You're a fighter. You had a great wrestling career, undefeated in senior year, all that shit. But mentally, you just seem so switched on. Then Saturday night, when you walk out, the place really came alive, right? And then the fight was wild. You delivered on the microphone. And I said, and I'm getting tons of shit for it now. I said, I think we've got a star in the making. You know what I mean? And everyone's like, what the fuck is he talking about? Was it a star in the making? That was a wild fight. It was a slobber knocker. It wasn't technical. I'm like, you motherfuckers don't know what this man is capable of. And I've spoken to you and I've heard from you, and you get an idea of what someone's truly like when we speak to them at those fighter meetings. Did you see any of that stuff? And if so, what do you make of it? But like, where do you think you go on this journey of being?
I mean, I think that's a good reaction. You know, if you say that and people react in that kind of way, I think that's a green flag. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of the way it is. I'm a very controversial character in the UFC, and I know I'm going to get it from both ways. People are going to love me and hate me, but I'm always my biggest critic, and I'm going to keep improving every fight. You know, the UFC is going to keep giving me matchups. I'm going to keep just taking it fight by fight and improving. I know I have a lot more to show. I think my biggest flaw is I love the fight. I'm a brawler, but you know, at the same time, I'm not an idiot. I just genuinely knew like I could do that against that kid. You know, if I go fight, say what, like 5 fights down the road, I'm in the top 15 fighting like some high level striker or something. I'm not going to go out there and sit there and bang with them and try to put them out in the first round. Like I'm gonna respect them a little bit more. I'm gonna have to set more traps. I'm gonna be in for a longer fight, but just the way I think, I just genuinely was saying like this kid can't hang with me. He doesn't belong in there with me. I can go in there and put this kid out in the first round, and that's all I was trying to do in that fight. And I just can't wait to keep booking more fights. And every time I fight, I'm gonna just check off one box of what these motherfuckers are saying about me and keep proving it wrong. It's always gonna be something new, and I'm just gonna keep delivering it with my performances and keep proving these guys wrong. And then eventually I'll be in the top 15, and then they're gonna keep saying something. One day I'm gonna have the belt, and they're probably still gonna say something. So I'm living the dream, though, dude. I made 120K in one night, and I'm just chilling with my dog here, eating a burrito. That's good, man.
Yeah, hey, on that.
Life's good. And, man, Tommy, everybody's going to talk shit. You know that right now. You see it, and as long as you can ride with it like that and kind of have that attitude. Me and Michael talk about it all the time. You could have went out there and landed one shot, knocked him out. Everyone would have said you got lucky. You went out and brawled with him, put on a show, and people bitch about wrestling in the UFC. Oh, too much control on the ground, not enough strikes. You don't do that, and people bitch anyway, right? So as long as you understand that no matter what, there's going to be people that love you, and there's going to be people that are going to hate you. It doesn't really matter. But you talked about wanting to stay busy this year. Is there any card or any time frame on what you would like to do next? Because, the schedule is starting to get laid out. Is there any places you want to go? Are you a guy that wants to stay in the U.S., or do you want to travel with fights? Like, how do you feel about all that kind of stuff?
I love fighting in Vegas. I'm a gambler. I'm the most degenerate UFC fighter on the roster. I guarantee nobody else partied and celebrated the way I just did. So I love Vegas. I want to fight in Vegas. And I think when I was doing my interviews after the fight, I might be wrong, but I think they're saying there's a T-Mobile Arena fight card in July. It might be International Fight Week. I don't know if that was the card, but I really would like to fight T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. I love fighting in Vegas, but I also want to be in a big arena. I think I feed off of people's energy. I love entertaining people. I think they need to throw me in a big arena, and I hope it's in Vegas. And then down the road, though, one day I do hope I get to do it. It probably wouldn't be for a couple of years. It's got to be the right matchup, and it'd be a big fight. But I think one of the coolest things would be going to a different country where people hate me, being public enemy number one, and just doing it, headlining a show in a different country. I think about that. I'm like that's the biggest dream fight. I would thrive off of that. But for right now, I think July in Vegas would be sick. If I could have it my way, that's what it would be.
I wanted to ask you, just going back to the fight a second, Manolo Zucchini, for those people that don't know him, he's a tough little son of a bitch, man, right? A lot of people, as I say, he only had one fight and it didn't go his way. Pre-UFC, he was knocking a lot of people out. Now, I don't want this to be seen as insulting to him, but at the weigh-ins on Friday, when he walks out and he's wearing those angel wings, was there just a party that was like, I've got to knock this guy out?
Yeah. No, I'm not even no hate towards the guy. I'm happy I got him 100K too. He's a tough guy. But yeah, that was a bad move by him. I'm not even gonna lie. It's all mental games, right? And everything. And I'm already more confident than anything. I'm knocking this kid out. Then he saw him come out with those, bro. I was like, oh, it's over. Hey, come on.
Brian, that's our producer in the background. See if you can find it at the weigh-ins. Manolo. It was the Tony Ferguson wings tattooed.
But in real life.
For real. And bless him. I think his gym's called the Winged Angels or something like that. So I get it. And I'm not talking shit. He's great.
One of the biggest winners of Saturday night, let's be honest, Tommy, is Zucchini for having, like you said, he took a pretty good licking there from you. And the dude, second UFC fight, he gets to walk with 100K, guys. At the end of the day, fighting you ended up working out pretty damn well for him financially.
Yeah, got him on the main card, gave him 100K, but honestly, I think if you're going to step in the cage with a kid named Guns, I think you deserve 100K no matter what. So, I'm happy he got 100K for sure.
Yeah, no, and he brought it. It takes two to tango.
I'll be honest, and this is not even a joke. I watched zero film on this kid before this fight. Tim and JJ, my two coaches, they kind of run my camps. and Suge, like, well, Tim and JJ, they said they turned on one of his fights, watched like 5 minutes of his stuff, then kind of based around my camper on what they thought, you know, and they pretty much just said like he's got nothing for you really, but like, you know, he's a little bit explosive. But I didn't watch a single thing. The only time I ever saw clips of this guy fighting was when I was in the back of the Apex getting ready to walk out, and they start playing his highlights, and he was knocking all these dudes out. And I'm like, damn, like, I'm like, this kid's actually a little killer. Like, I didn't even watch anything about him. And I'm sitting in the back of the Apex getting ready to walk out. And he's knocking all these dudes out. I'm like, oh shit, I think this might be a little fun. Like,
this might be a weird question, but it's been driving me nuts, and I still don't know the answer to it. That's why I'm going to ask you. Who do you remind me of? Is there like an actor or someone like that people say that you look like? Because there's someone, it's driving me nuts, but that you remind me of someone. Who is there an actor that people say you look like?
No, I mean, no, I don't really think so. I mean, people like call me Tom, like people have given me resemblance to like Tommy Lee, but like, cause I'm Tommy a crazy kid, my name's Tommy, but that's not really like probably what you're thinking. I'm trying to think.
There's a little Jim Morrison going on there, but it ain't that. There's an actor. I'm telling you, I don't know what fucking movie.
Hold on. I'm thinking there's somebody too.
Oh yeah,
a young version of him. A young version of him. Let me see. I got to pull him up first.
What about Brandon Lee from The Crow, or is that just? Have you seen The Crow? You're probably too. You ain't seen that. I knew that. No. What's the last movie you watched, Tommy?
I was thinking a young Michael Shannon. Do you guys know who Michael Shannon is?
Michael Shannon. Who's that? I'm going to Google him right now.
The last movie I watched was the new Peaky Blinders.
This is him. This is a young Michael Shannon. A little bit of a young Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon. He's a great actor.
He's a great actor. So it's not a bad thing, Tommy.
I haven't watched it all yet. Was it good?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the Peaky Blinders. Obviously, the series is like where it's at. You know what I mean? But like, it's a cool little like, yeah, I like it. It's just like it goes right after like what happened in the series and whatnot. You got to watch it. It's good.
Yeah. Well, listen, you had a great night in Vegas. Thanks for making the time today, Tommy. Really appreciate it, man, because I can hear it in your voice. You fucking went out there. You did your job. You partied like a rock star.
Yeah.
Now you're back home. You're going to go support your teammates up in Montana. That says a hell of a lot about you. You've got an awesome team around you. You've got a good head on your shoulders. Your feet are on the ground. But, hey, make sure you're enjoying it along the way, which it sounds like you bloody well are. Congrats on everything. We'll do this again soon. Oh,
Tommy, I'm sorry to hold you for just a second longer. I'm wondering though, you were asking Dana about getting your 100K bonus in chips at the blackjack table. What's the biggest bet you placed over the weekend?
This weekend, the biggest hand I played was $5,000 of baccarat. I love baccarat.
You seem like you'd be a baccarat kind of guy.
Dude, you guys, I'm not kidding when I say I'm the most degenerate UFC player. I go to the casino every day during fight camp because it keeps me out of trouble.
Really?
Like it keeps me away from girls more often. I'm not out partying as much. I just go to the casino, gamble, play poker, and it just kind of keeps me occupied. It gives me that like, because I'm a crazy kid. It just gives me that fix without having to like go do something too crazy. Keeps me dialed in camp. But
being on the UFC roster, would you ever bet on the fights?
Oh, yeah. I used to bet on the fights all the time, but I can't now, obviously, which sucks because I love to bet, so I bet on other sports and stuff. But I don't know much about other sports, so it's kind of just like gambling at that point big time. But, like, I used to love betting on UFC fights. I put, like, a lot of money on Suge way back in the day, 100%. When he beat one of the most amount of money I won on Suge, I think, was when he beat Peter Yan in Aljo because I had him doubled up on Aljo. I had him by a knockout and, like, a finish. And then against Peter Yan, I just had like a fat straight bet on him on his money line, and he clutched it up, which was sick.
Let me ask you, if you were to put money on, which obviously you can't, but if you were going to pick a winner this weekend, Jiří Procházka versus Carlos Ulberg, where are you putting your money?
Jiří. I like Jiří. Yeah. That's just based off of like I think he's cool. You know what I mean? I'm more of a fan of him. I like watching his shit.
You all said the same thing.
We're big fans here.
He's cool, so I'm going to go with Jiří on that for sure.
He's the man. All right, Tommy, we'll let you go, man. Congrats. Enjoy the moment, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me, guys. You guys are legends. I'm always down to chop it up, so we'll talk soon.
Yes,
sir.
All
the best,
Thanks,
Tommy.
Dude.
See you, buddy. Nice guy.
Good interview, man.
Good interview.
He knows he's playing the game properly. I love that he said, I planned on fighting him like this because I knew I could do this in this fight. Down the line, when I'm fighting the top 15 guys, this is what we talked about earlier. Like, you do have to adjust that at some point. It doesn't mean you can't be exciting. It doesn't mean you can't have moments of that. But when you're fighting the elites, you've got to be a little more calculated. We've all done it in our careers where early on you get away with shit. And as you start to face the better guys, you have to sharpen up. And he said exactly that. So I like to hear that from a kid like that.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And just going back to my earlier point, I just think he has that X factor. You know, he's definitely got something to him that's appealing and makes him stand out from other people. Of course,
the fact that people love or hate that comment that you put out there just says that he does have that, right? That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. So, right, we'll wrap this one up because we've been going for nearly 2 hours, Paul. So I apologize.
It's been good.
He said, Mike, what we doing? You're going to pay me overtime for these 2-hour episodes. Real quick. If you got a video, send it to bynpod@gmail.com. Like the video, subscribe. I don't even think you can ring bells anymore, so don't ring a bell. I said that on my last YouTube video. Someone was like, YouTube did away with bells.
They got rid of the bells and whistles.
So don't ring a bell. Where is?
Oh, but hit the hype button.
Oh, there's a hype button?
No.
I think it's only on mobile.
Well,
you better hype it up.
Better hype it up.
Oh, you better hype it up. Real quick, I'm going to ask you real quick, fast. Azamat Murzakanov and Paulo Costa, who wins? I'll say Azamat Murzakanov.
Same.
Curtis Blades versus Josh Holkett. I got Josh Holkett. Who you got?
I'm going to go Blades. I'm going to go with experience here.
Yep, yeah, I understand that. Johnny Walker versus Dominic Reyes. I am going to say Dominic Reyes.
Double knockout. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go Ray. Fuck it. I'll go Walker.
Okay. Cub Swanson versus Nate Landwehr. I got to go with Cub. It's his final fight. Love Nate Landwehr, though, but I got to go Cub.
I do. I love Nate Landwehr, too. I'm going to fuck it. Nate's my boy. I'm going Nate.
Harrington and Brian, jump on and give your quick opinion on these as well, because we've got a few more on the prelims. Pitbull versus Pico. I'm going to say Pico. He's had a very unlucky run. He comes to the UFC. He gets sparked out. Pitbull's low volume. I'm going to say Aaron Pico gets the job done. Paulie.
Pico. Yeah, I like Pico's got to come back strong on this one. If he doesn't come out and win this one, man, I really don't know where he goes from here. I think he's got to get a win. I think he'll get it done.
Yeah, I think you guys are wrong about the Paulo Costa fight. I think Costa's going to win.
By decision?
Paulo Costa?
Yeah.
Bro, listen. Azamat Murzakanov, 16-0, 12 knockouts. Last time knocked out Alexander Rakic with a jab.
I just like Paulo Costa on Twitter much better, so I'm going to...
Well, no doubt.
Brenderson Ribeiro, before that, knockout. No, submission, first round. Before that, Menefield, knockout. Before that, yeah, he's been knocking people out, bro. Anyway, who knows? Harrington, who you got? Costa or Murzakanov?
Well, I was going to say Costa just doesn't really get knocked out, with the lone exception being Izzy, and that was just incredible footwork and caught him. He's been in there against big punchers. I mean, Paulo Costa kind of has the Homer Simpson gene. He can take big shots from guys like Yoel Romero and just keep coming. So, I mean, I'd like to see what Murzakanov looks like in the third round. That being said, I do think he gets it done. I don't think Costa has the volume at this point in his career to get a win even on the cards.
Keep coming is quite the statement. I mean, Paulo Costa does shell up for half the fight, half the time.
Mateusz Gamrot taking on Esteban Ribovics. Remember, Mateusz returning from that beatdown and submission from Charles Oliveira.
Can't really hold that against him, though.
No.
Yeah, we saw what he just did to Holloway.
Jesus.
Mateusz Gamrot for me. What does the panel say?
Yeah, give me Gamrot.
I agree. I agree with you, Mike.
This is a tough one. Kevin Holland versus Randy Brown, Harrington.
Ooh, Kevin Holland just needs to get himself back on track. I mean, Randy Brown is not an easy fighter to do that against, but I mean, if Kevin Holland can't win this one, then you know, it's time to have a talk with Kevin Holland, maybe.
Yeah. I'll say Kevin. I love Randy, though. I hope he doesn't see this. I'm saying Kevin. Oh,
yeah, I know. I love Randy too, and East Coaster. But I don't want Kevin to see it either. If I pick,
I know he'll come for you.
I think it ends in a scramble and Kevin Holland submits him.
And then Tatiana Suarez versus Lupi Godinez. I got Tatiana Suarez. She's going to out-wrestle her.
Yeah. I think that's a fight she can do that.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Okay. Harrington, we saw earlier that our man Steve Garcia, Steve, was wearing the 3-punch combo hoodie.
Right.
What have we got on 3-punch combo this week?
So what I was going to grab from 3-punch combo, which just so you guys know, it's a fun place where the fans and MMA insiders can go and have a unfiltered, in-depth conversation. That is where I pulled that Dean Thomas quote from. He actually posted on 3PC saying that if, in fact, there is anything that goes wrong, if there's a draw in this fight, just shutter the entire division.
So that's where I saw it. Maybe I saw it in the notes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I could prove it. I grabbed this one as a backup though, just because I know that you guys already dove into that. Hottest MMA take challenge. This is from Triangle Kid 57. He said, "Mine is Jon Jones is overrated. I'm not saying he's not good, but he's not the GOAT. He lost to Reyes, may have lost to Gustafsson and Thiago Santos, became a decision machine at one point in his career, fought Stipe way past his prime, and ducked Tom. What is your hottest take?"
I mean, Jesus Christ, Harrington. That's just like we were going to spend 10 minutes thinking about it. What is our hottest take? Maybe the hottest take this week is that Jiří beats Carlos, because that goes against all logic.
That's most of the time Jiří wins, which is a lot.
What's been your hottest take or your biggest flaming bullshit that you've come out with, Paul, that you've been criticized for? I get it every week.
Well, I mean, recently that we think the fight should have been stopped from that illegal stomp kick to the face. People seem to be upset about that.
Mightily upset. Yeah. Well, she got kicked in the face, bro. And she went down and it looked like she was unconscious.
It was just a throat kick, Michael.
Yeah. Typically, when someone gets knocked out, you don't start the fight again.
Yeah, that was my concern on that.
Yeah.
Here's a hot take. That should all be legal.
Oh, that is a good take. I'll
tell you what, it would stop some of the reckless just shooting at ankles. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, it would. Those like Tony Ferguson ankle picks.
It would stop stalling on the ground too, because if you could just step around them and just boot them right in the head, people wouldn't just be laying down on their backs too much.
Yeah. Remember in Pride when like they would jump up in the air and
just stomp. Yeah.
Oh,
crazy.
Oh, I loved Pride back in the day.
One of my buddies is going over and fighting a Japanese kid in Risen in May for the first time. And
stomps.
Yeah, I think they can. I think they can stomp and soccer kick there. So maybe I'll go train with him a little bit and help with the soccer kicks.
I thought this one was pretty good. Sam Webb said Islam Makhachev retires after he beats Ian Gary in August. He's 35 in October. He leaves Topuria, Morales, Prates, and Shavkat to battle it out in 27 for the vacant welterweight title.
Well, he did say that he doesn't want to do it for too much longer. He did say that in an interview kind of recently. And has that been announced? Him and Ian Gary?
Not that I know of, but this is it's a hot take for a reason, Mike.
Yeah, it was probably the fight that's gonna happen. I mean, it's a murderer's row, isn't it? So like you can say, listen, I did it, I came, I defended, I won all the belts, but you're also leaving millions of dollars on the table.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You know?
But I mean, does he need more money to go live in Dagestan on his farm and do his thing? It's like when some of these Brazilian guys win millions. Like Charles Oliveira can live like a king for the rest of his life.
He lives like a king.
Yeah. I mean, and he should, like, dude, you can, your money, the money you make in the UFC, if you live in Dagestan, I imagine goes real fucking far.
Yeah. Unlike California, it doesn't go very far.
Yeah. Like, what was Anderson thinking when he moved to California? Like, you dummy, he should have just stayed in Brazil. And
Charles Oliveira's driving around in multiple Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
You know,
and then paying.
And they're not, cars are way more expensive in Brazil because of all the import taxes and the tariffs.
So he is being silly and dumb after all.
Oh, yeah.
No. Because like, Brian, just look up the average cost of a car in Brazil and how much higher it is. I don't know how you Google that, but Brazil. Because I know a lot of Brazilians that I used to train with. They would buy things, and anytime they went back to Brazil, always bring them there and sell them because the import taxes are just through the roof, and cars are one of the main things. It's a lot more expensive. So anyway, regardless, that's been 2 hours almost on the dot.
Just wanted to tell people again, that segment was sponsored by 3-Punch Combo. Head over to 3punchcombo.com. Use promo code BYM. Get yourself a 1-month free trial. Jump in on the conversation yourself.
Do you jump in on the conversation? Or jump off a bridge? In fact, don't jump off bridges. I don't know why I said that. Don't do that. That's bad.
Don't do that.
That was just a jumping segue. I don't know, to ending the show. We got to do a question. bympod@gmail.com. Do we have a question, Brian?
Oh, of course we do.
All right.
This question is from George.
Just a quick one before I head into training. Michael, saw you in Den of Thieves 2. Was hoping to get a little more out of you in the movie. Wish they would have casted you longer. Thought your character would have been pretty cool. But do you plan on doing any more movies like that? Is there a word of Den of Thieves 3? And any other action movies you plan on doing? Paul, same question. I know you have the theater background. Are we ever going to see you throwing some elbows and some kicks in a movie? That would be pretty sweet to see in some type of action movie. And who are fighters you think, active or inactive or retired, if you will, that you could see in movies like that you think would do pretty good? I personally would love to see the Diaz brothers in a movie. I just think that would be hilarious. But let me know. Just curious. Love the show. Favorite show. Always look forward to new episodes and still waiting on that live episode. Cheers, boys. Thank you. Bye.
Paul.
Yes.
Do you not think he sounds just like your friend, Jared Gordon?
He's got a little Jared. Yeah, I could see that. Now that you say that. Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing, Paul will tell you. Love Nick and Nate Diaz. And did you see that back and forth between DC and Nate last week?
Yeah.
I'm surprised we didn't talk about that. That should have been in the notes, Harrington. Can't remember everything ourselves. You've got to play the game if you're on a movie set. I don't think Nate Diaz would show up on time and would sit in his trailer for hours on end, waiting to get called to set. He'd be like, man, fuck this shit. I'm out of it, man. What the fuck?
He would just end up walking off, and it would never end up happening.
Because it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and it is kind of a pain in the ass. There's tons of waiting around on film sets.
They pick you up at 5 a.m. and then you sit in a dingy little trailer till like 3 in the afternoon sometimes and do nothing but eat.
Yeah, there's a lot of eating.
There's a lot of eating.
There is a lot of eating, especially if you're on a bigger set. My God, like when I did Hacks, the TV show, obviously we're in studio a lot of the time. And then there's carts, there's coffee trucks, there's craft services trailer, all kinds of stuff to just snack on.
But to answer your question, I got 2 movies coming out soon. Atlas King and The Gambit. So keep an eye on those. And I'm currently going through it because for Atlas King, they're trying to get me to go to the Cannes Film Festival to promote it. And I'm all over the bloody place. I'm like, babe, do you mind if I go to the south of France and go on a jolly? She's like, get your shit together, bro. You got a family. Yeah. You ain't going. I'm like, I'm fucking going. Anyway, that's the show. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you all. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the fights. And we'll be back breaking it all down next week.